Hey, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to do a quick video. I just got through watching the Paul versus Tyson fight, and I just wanted to give my thoughts really quickly. I actually enjoyed it very much. If you guys have watched it, uh, please don't listen to this, or if you haven't watched it, please don't listen to this video. There's going to be some spoilers on here. If you haven't watched it, please definitely go check it out first. It was a worthy show, man. I mean, all three fights were solid. The first fight, I kind of came in at the end. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Yeah, I'm just doing a quick live, man. I just got through watching the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight on Netflix, man, and I enjoyed it a lot actually. And I'm actually hoping that this becomes a thing for Netflix. I know that they have quite a few stuff lined up. Like the next month, man, I'm gonna be able to watch my Steelers play. If, like I said before on my other podcast, dude, I don't have cable television anymore. I cut the cord a long time ago. It's been like over 10 years that I haven't had cable. Right, so one of the great things about not having cable is not paying overpriced, paying for overpriced cable. But the negative thing, of course, is I don't get to watch sports like I used to. And then I've gotten older, man. I've fallen out of it myself, and there's other things I'm interested in. But I ain't gonna lie, man. This took me back, dude. Seeing Iron Mike, it was great to see him, dude. I know all the hype and stuff surrounding the fight was palpable. I know it was real. And I enjoyed every single minute of it, dude. I mean, reality for me, I'm just a few years shy of Iron Mike's age, man, and I know where I'm at as far as physically and where my body is, dude. I still go to the gym, but I can't do, half of the stuff that I used to do back in the day when I used to go to the gym and be hardcore. In fact, the way that I'm at the gym now, I wish I would have been a little bit more smarter, with the way I lift weights or do cardio and stuff like that. And the science and everything else is just far beyond a lot of the stuff that I experienced when I was younger. Um, but so the reality, I knew. I mean, it was in the back of my mind, but like everybody else did, I got caught up in all the pomp and circumstance, all the press conference. I love all of that stuff, dude. And I'm not saying that I thought Tyson was going to be able to take Jake Paul. I thought maybe he could get a lucky punch in, maybe. But as the fight kicked off, reality started to sink in, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it hit me a little bit hard, dude, because I grew up watching Mike Tyson fight, dude, and Mike Tyson in his prime, dude, was a beast. He was unstoppable, dude. And the stories, man, uh, just being that age, him being the champion that he was, how he used to suck up all the air in the room. Dude, he was just like Jordan when Jordan blew up when he was playing basketball, dude. This is something definitely of somebody of my age, of my time, dude. And of course, dude, look, nostalgia is a kind of a big thing in this day and age, right? So, of course, man, sometimes, like I said, you get caught up in everything. I definitely did, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, I was great to see Mike, dude. He had the intensity, he had the look, um, but like I said, he didn't have the same physical prowess that he did, naturally. He's in his 50s, that he had when he was younger. But yeah, dude. I mean, I like the entirety of the fights. I hope this is something that Netflix does, and they're starting to do, and I hope that they continue to do it. I know in December Netflix is going to actually have um, what is that, NFL football on Christmas. I believe they're going to have the Steelers versus the Chiefs. If you guys didn't know, man, I'm a Steeler fan, hardcore. So that's a good game, and then I think the Ravens actually going to play the Texans, which is unlimited productions team. So you're gonna get a doubleheader on Christmas. The only thing I'm concerned about when it comes to Netflix, man, especially after watching um, the Tyson versus Paul, again, great. Yeah, what's up, Unlimited, dude? Did you get to watch the fight? Yeah, Texas versus Ravens on Christmas Day on Netflix. Oh, you didn't watch the fight. Sorry, let me read the comment. Jump in again. Texas versus Ravens on Christmas Day on Netflix. I didn't watch the fight as I had no interest. Netflix is pushing entertainment forward. Yeah, definitely, dude. And this is why I really wanted Microsoft to take a serious look at them. You know, if you're gonna throw your cash around, dude, look at Netflix. And I like this new format that they're going for, man. Again, I talk about this all the time. I'm a huge Korean drama fan, dude, and everything. When I used to watch Korean dramas before, dude, I used to have to actually go rent the videos on a VHS, or had to go buy the movies to watch it, or you'd have to watch it on. We have a Korean station which you have to pay for, and then the other option was the internet. Now, the great thing about the internet was that K-pops were becoming so popular, especially in Hawaii, dude. They're huge. Um, that it kind of grew exponentially, dude. So I was catching a lot of good content. But Netflix blew that all out of the water, dude. They got so much good content coming out of Korea, and it's all on Netflix. So, but yeah, dude, I'm looking forward, dude. Like I said, Steelers play Kansas City that day as well. I think we're the first game. You guys are the second. And I'll be cheering for your Texans, man, because I think the Ravens and the Steelers are tied in the league. And of course, there's games before that, so we'll see how it all ends up. But anytime anybody who plays the Ravens, I can't stand the Ravens. Global Pole. His last real fight was over 20 years ago. Was a effing joke, but he got his payday. I respect that he made money off of it. Yeah, Global. I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, it was bittersweet, dude. It's like that time Jordan came back and he just came back one too many times. You never like to see your heroes that way, man. And definitely when Tyson came out right from the jump, dude, you could tell just in his legs. And one thing I did like was the commentary. They had Rosie Perez. Um, man, back in the day, I had the biggest crush on her. Rosie Perez, uh, Roy Jones, and I don't know who the other dude was, but at least they called it, fairly. What I felt was fair commentary. They paid respect to Tyson, right? But you could tell from the first 2 rounds that he wasn't the same guy, and that this wasn't gonna go the way a lot of people thought it was gonna go. Still enjoyed it though, man. It was pretty awesome. Unlimited. Tyson was a monster in his prime, bro. I have stories, dude, that I remember when Tyson was a boxer, dude. And so of course, Unlimited. I'm a couple decades older than you. So when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, I only knew about boxing because my dad and my grandfather would watch boxing all the time. So I grew up. I knew who Tommy Hearns was, and I knew Larry Holmes. I knew a lot of Sugar Ray Leonard and a lot of those boxers of that time, right? And Michael Spinks was one of them. And I remember when Spinks came out of retirement to fight Tyson, and I remember I was like, dude, man, Michael Spinks is the man. But the same thing like we saw tonight, dude. Age waits for nobody. And my uncle Felice, with this when I lived in Florida, bro. He went to watch. He paid to watch a fight at a small little arena that was on Orange Blossom Trail. So he went over there to watch it, dude. He went to go grab some snacks, and by the time he came back in, the fight was over. I remember him telling me that. I was laughing. Yeah, because you remember, dude, he just used to just tear through people like a hot knife through butter, dude. People don't realize. I mean, you can watch the video, but when that was happening in real time, dude, it was good times, brother. Paul should fight a real pro at his prime, at his age. Yeah, yeah, and I think Gogo. I'll be honest with you, dude. I don't know too much about this guy, but again, I know his background, and so a lot of people never really took him seriously, and so I think he has to go this route, right, to get his kind of bona fides. Because you listen to like when they announced him and they gave him all his titles, dude. Look, bro, I grew up with Rocky, right, and Apollo Creed, probably like the best introduction, even in real fighting, right. And then all the names that Apollo Creed had, Master, Disaster. My favorite was the Count of Monte Fisto. He had all these like these awesome titles, man. And then they rattled off some stuff for Jake Paul, and I was like, dude, that's kind of clownish, right? So it is what it is, man. But I understand what he's trying to do because he's not a really serious contender, a real serious boxer. And I'm not hating on that guy, you know what I'm saying and stuff like that. But there's some really good boxers out there right now. But I agree with you, man. I would like to see him like really buckle down, get his license. Is he licensed? I don't know if he's licensed, man, but actually box. Actually go there and box, man. He's got the size, dude. He can hit. So yeah, I want to see him bang with some real pros. Um, Unlimited says I love boxing, but I wasn't interested in watching 60-year-old Tyson box in 2024. He wasn't the same in 2002 fighting Lennox Lewis. Yeah, true, true. Unlimited. But guys like me, bro. I mean, the nostalgia bait, dude, is just too much for me to not watch it. And again, the other fights that they had on the card were good, were really good, right? So for me, like, even though the Tyson thing was kind of a like not a bust for me, man, but I know you could tell by just honestly, people thought that he was gonna come in and just whoop this dude's butt, just destroy Jake Paul. And then on the internet, dude, on Twitter, man, that was the aside from all the other stuff going on in the world, that was trending today. And people was really like, man, they're gonna, Tyson's gonna. I hope he, they I guess they don't like Paul. They want him to get beat up, and they're like, Tyson's gonna destroy this kid. And I'm sitting there thinking, do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when the Hawaii Warriors went to play against the University of Georgia the Bulldogs and the Sugar Bowl, and people here was kind of like, yeah, we can do it, man. We can take that. We can take them. And I got so used to hearing that, dude, because I watch SEC football, bro. I grew up in Florida. Florida Georgia games are brutal, right? When I was growing up, so dude, I ain't gonna lie, dude. I drank the Kool Aid a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe if we spread about and stuff like that. And from this first snap, dude, and when the Sugar Bowl kicked off that first snap, you knew it was over. And I got a reality check. So coming into this fight, dude, I know that wasn't my mind wasn't there, but I was enjoying it, bro. I liked all that pomp and circumstance, dude. I love the way they put on that show. Now moving forward, dude, I hope that they take this a little bit more seriously and start booking some real matches. And not that this wasn't a real match, but to make it to that level, like a Friday night fights, man, stuff like that. Especially now, dude. There's a lot of good boxers out there. Gogo says unlimited production facts. Yeah, over 20 years ago. Yes, yes. Uh, these comments are stinging even for me. Oh yeah, dude. Here, hold on. I'll send you a link. My bad, bro. Gogo, you want in? I'll link it to you. And dude, trust me. No worries, guys. We'll keep it on sports. We'll keep it on sports, man. I know people have been getting mad at me. But let me get the. See, I'm like Mike Tyson when it comes to. I'm the Mike Tyson of YouTube. Let me try and get to Twitter. Yeah, you guys can come in and give me an assist here. All right, there you are, brother. All right. I'm getting better, bro. I'm getting a little bit faster. My feet is a bit wobbly like Mike, but it's all good. All right, guys, I sent the link if you guys want to jump in. Let me go since I'm waiting for y'all. Yeah, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna do the show if you guys got time. The Xbox. We're also gonna do Xbox. Oh, there you are, brother. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Sega Forever?
Dude, man, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm excited about that Christmas football.
Yeah.
Especially since
the
Christmas is
Steelers are having a great season.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
yeah, I love Mike Tomlin, man. He's a top 3 coach in the league. I love everything he's done in Pittsburgh, and he's really got this because all the experts were saying this is a year the Steelers finally won't have a winning record or something like that. And here comes Tomlin, got the Steelers at 8-2 after 10 weeks. My goodness, this man's a magician. I'm hoping D'Amico Ryans down here in Houston turns into what he's doing out there in Pittsburgh, because he's got man, that Christmas game against the Chiefs is going to be amazing.
Well, it's kind of funny to me because when people tell me that kind of stuff, I was like, obviously you guys wasn't around in the 80s.
Yeah. No. Unfortunately, like, well, my mom's a Steeler fan, so she grew up on the 70s. Terry Bradshaw, Steel Curtain days.
Yeah.
So that's why she loves the Steelers. And every time the Steelers win, she always texts me, right? She's always texting me. You saw them Steelers, right? or she'll text me because you know how they have the yellow flag. She'll text me like a yellow thing.
Right.
Yellow,
the terrible towel.
Yeah, the terrible towel. Yeah.
Man. Respect to your mom, man.
Yeah. My mom, she loves the Steelers, loves them.
Yeah, dude, I'm hardcore, man. I mean, but that's what I mean. I mean, the 80s was rough because I missed the 70s. I was born in 73.
Yeah.
So I was a little kid. And then even as a boy, man, I was a fan. But, by the time I got like of age, bro, that I could really watch, dude, like the 80s was rough for us, man.
Yeah.
So that's why when people come at me with Mike Tomlin, I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. You guys never would. If you guys was in the 80s, you guys never talking to this.
Which I mean, yeah. Which is kind of crazy. A generation of Steelers fans don't know what a real bad team looks like.
But I never thought the day would come. It's kind of like Marvel fans now. I never thought the day would come that the Steeler fans we have now, like especially here where I'm in Hawaii. And I'm not saying not everybody's a Steeler fan, but people are Steeler fans because they're like Polamalu.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Or Ma'afala back in the day, right? And then I'm just like, I talk to them, but I can't get deep with them because I don't know nothing about the history of the Steelers. So, which is fine, bro. I'm not trying to be that guy. But, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. The Steelers, they got a history for a reason. And that's one of those teams I always respected too, because They're historically they've always been just one of them tough teams.
Yeah.
They're rarely terrible. Honestly, I can't think of a terrible season off the top of my head. Maybe the year before they drafted Big Ben, maybe.
Yeah, we were and then the '80s was rough for us because
Yeah,
the other
yeah. Well,
teams,
yeah. Again, I wasn't born yet, so
yeah,
so that's why I'm saying since I've been alive, because even when I was a kid, I remember that they did make it to the Super Bowl, but lost to the Cowboys. Then they made it again and beat the Seahawks. Then they made it again and beat the Cardinals. So
Cardinals, yeah.
yeah, Steelers, man, they've always been winners. And then meanwhile, my team in Houston just can't hasn't really put together yet. And and I'm hoping that we finally do it soon.
Well, you guys' draft though was pretty high though.
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you guys got big upside, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trading away Deshaun Watson to Cleveland, which y'all should thank us for killing that team.
Yeah,
With that well, it was a horrible trade for Cleveland, but a brilliant trade for us because it helped the team rebuild.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So now we got a lot of young tough players. My boy C.J. Stroud, always praising
Yeah,
God in every interview. So
yeah, he's
he went
awesome.
over. Yeah, he went over a lot of people with that alone.
And, and it's real too. Like he
Yeah,
just won't
yeah,
say it. He can look at him and goes, "Oh yeah."
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Look, he starts off every interview. Let me thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Right,
Yeah,
word for word. Right. That's how it is, man. And I don't remember a player, at least in Houston, that did that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players, they'll mention their faith in God, but he's like that's his identity basically, where it's clear that he sees anything that come in his life in that spiritual sense,
right.
and that's good for a 23-year-old man. Because when I was 23, I was a whole different person. Let's put it that way. I wasn't that focused spiritually.
It's interesting, right? Because it just seems like this newer generation of athlete, right? Because you got him, you got the dude in Kansas City, and then
Yeah.
there's a lot of times these guys are like praying,
Mm-hmm.
both teams praying together. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
it.
dude, your guy Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
He just, from my understanding, like he's one of them guys. He tweets Bible quotes. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
That's the type of guy he
Yeah,
is.
he puts himself out there, dude. The
Yeah,
thing I
yeah,
like, I'm happy for Sierra because she could have
Mhm.
gone wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think they're a good match, dude. I like the family vibe.
Yeah, same there. Yeah, same there. That's the pros of finding a good man. You'd see it. He'll give you a good life and turn it around for you.
Oh, I was getting some hate from some of the fans. They were like, "Why don't you like the other quarterback?" I said, "No, I like that kid." But I'm like, dude, we got Russell Wilson, man. Don't put all the
Yeah,
pressure on the other quarterback
yeah,
because
exactly.
I can't remember his name. Is
Yeah, Justin Fields.
yeah, bro. That dude has
And the thing about Justin Fields, he's in a good situation because Chicago can't develop quarterbacks. I mean,
yeah,
they're ruining that kid they got right now. I wish Zink was here because he's a Bears fan, and he because
yeah. That's the dude from the kid from USC, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so Justin Fields playing under Russell Wilson, he's just going to help him because Russell's at the end of his career. I mean, he's
Right,
playing great now, but dude's like 37, I think. He don't got too much longer in the league, realistically.
right.
And so Steelers, as always, they know what they're doing, man. They know
Good
what
on
they're doing.
personnel, man. It took him a few years.
Hmm.
And Tomlin had to bear the brunt of that.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
the way it is in Pittsburgh. Like some people, they don't understand, dude, how Pittsburgh. That's one of the few teams now where, the city, the people, and the team
hmm
are all one. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So we're losing that in the league. So
yeah,
um,
exactly.
hey, what's up, Vontae, bro? Thanks for being here.
Yo, hey, what's up, Vontae? Yeah,
Um,
Vontae.
I don't consider it a real fight. It's an experience. Yeah, Gogo. That was
Yeah,
the. I
yeah.
can tell you this much, Gogo. A lot of people watch it, and I can
Hmm.
tell because Netflix never. I never have a problem with Netflix
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah, yeah. I heard the stream was rough. I heard the stream was rough.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
some of the stuff I watch on Netflix, dude, I've never had an issue, and I'm in the
yeah.
middle of the Pacific Ocean. Unlike Microsoft with Call of Duty, that's a story for another day.
All right.
But yeah. So when that thing was chugging like that, I just went on
Hmm.
the computer and started watching, instead of my TV. So
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I honestly think that's good news.
Yeah,
But
yeah. My dad, because he called me get the Netflix login, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm watching the fight on my laptop." Yeah, because my dad, he's a little older than you, but
yeah,
but again, he watched Tyson in his prime as well,
Mm-hmm.
and so when I was a kid and we were watch because my dad we'll occasionally order fights back in the 90s
Yeah.
when heavyweight boxing was still like heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, that's some great. Yeah.
Yeah, and and we're watching Tyson versus Holyfield, for example, and he's telling me about 80s Tyson would have killed Holyfield,
Yeah.
but by then when they fought, I think it was like 99 or something like that, and Tyson biting off his ear and all this stuff, it was like
You know what it was? Tyson was just in a bad place when his
yeah,
trainer
yeah,
passed away. When his trainer passed
yes,
away, that's what it was.
yeah, I know that going to jail for a few years in his prime took away some of the years. It was unfortunate that we could have got a little more peak Tyson,
Yeah, yeah.
if the cards played out a little differently. But whenever I see him in interviews, he seems more at peace now, which I'm happy for him.
Yeah, and that's just something that comes with that age, bro.
Yeah.
And so that's another reality check. I mean, some people really thought he was going to come out and and of course,
yeah,
I want to revel in it. I enjoy. Look, dude, every time the steel curtain thing comes out, I'm always watching it, dude. Even though I've watched it a bazillion times.
Right.
Because that's how we process sports, man. I remember watching Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. I remember watching Holmes and man, who was Holmes? Who was his art? Man, well, I remember when he beat up on the Clooney dude. But,
yeah.
Back then, dude, those guys didn't like each other.
Oh,
Haggett and Hearns.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Haggett and Hearns, man.
Dude, they were vicious, man.
Yeah.
And so again, and to Gogo's point, man. I understand completely. Savante says the fight went exactly like I thought. As long as Jake got past that mic explosion in the first 2 rounds, it was going to be a cakewalk for Jake after. That he got his little payday though. Yeah, Vontae, I'm just to be honest with you though, that he came in and I could tell like right from the jump his legs were not. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny that and Vontae, you can tell Vontae just knows his stuff because I would see because I did see the build towards it and I see comments like, oh, Tyson's gonna knock Jake Paul out. And I'm just like, nah, man, not somebody who's pushing 60.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Tyson even felt good in the training up to it, right? But he knows, once you're in that ring, it's different.
I mean, he does have health issues too.
Oh, that's right. Because the fight was delayed. The fight was delayed because of some health issues. Yeah.
But look, the ending of the fight again. Spoilers, guys. Please don't watch this video.
Yeah.
But the ending of the fight was, he made it the 8 rounds, so I was happy about that. So
right,
and I enjoyed it. Dude. I mean, it's just nostalgia.
I think, I think the fans got enough of what they want. It sounds like it was a success for Netflix. Again, I didn't watch it. I just didn't have interest. That'd be like if somebody said, "Hey, we're going to have Akeem Olajuwon play in the NBA." I'm like, "Nah, he's the greatest Rockets ever," but I'm not trying to watch 65-year-old Hakeem shoot a ball, and then and then that's the last thing. I don't want that to with some of these legends. I don't want the lasting image, especially for people who didn't watch Tyson, to think that this version of him is what we had. Like you saw his prime, and I saw him in the 90s, where Tyson was just ferocious, a different type of when I say people feared Tyson, that was a legitimate thing, right?
If you watched it, okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm just saying, like when you watched him, when he was such a beast, dude. Like when he hit somebody, he felt it.
Yeah.
Like you would feel sorry for that person.
Yes.
Right? In fact, the running joke was like, I would step in the ring with him for $1 million. I'd probably be in the hospital for a month. At least I have $1 million, right? That's how people talk about him, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, you could just see it, dude. Like just the look on the people's face, the way their bodies will crumple up. Not just their facial reaction, but the body reaction.
Yeah. He won the mental game. He won the mental game a lot, and that's a huge part of combat sports, man. Well, sports in general is the mental aspect because you mentioned Michael Jordan earlier, right? That's what made Michael Jordan so dangerous in basketball. What was that when you lined up against him, because I like to listen to the older stars of sports, because they're doing podcasts now right? So they're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
they're
Good,
talking
good.
about the ins and outs of their careers, right? And so many of them played against Michael. Grown men, right, are talking about how they feared him on the court, right? And Tyson was like that in boxing, man, where when that bell rang, you knew someone was going to die, basically. And
You know what the issue was,
uh,
is I remember, man, some of these dudes did not respect him at all.
mhm.
And because they're big dudes, and I'm pretty sure against anybody else, dude, they knock people out.
Yeah.
And when they came in with Tyson, dude, because Tyson wasn't like the biggest guy, so
Oh
he
yeah,
fought
that's right.
for giants, right? And they just didn't respect him, even though
Mhm.
they heard all. You can see it in their face, dude. And then when that's why right when the match starts and when he hits them for the first time, that's
Mhm.
when the reality kicks in. You see it. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like if you ever been in a fight, dude, and you got somebody hit
Mhm.
you, right,
Yeah.
and then you're like, dang, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know right away. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the
Getting punched changes a lot of what you think going into the fight, man.
yeah. Then that's one of Tyson's favorite famous quotes, right?
Yeah.
Everybody got a game plan to get punched in the face.
Yep.
Right? And he's speaking from experience because when he used to hit these guys, and then you can see it, they'll be like, "Oh, right?" And
Yeah.
that's yeah. So that is the Tyson, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that. Look, guys, I was not expecting that tonight.
Mhm.
But I did. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I would like to see him move a little bit more
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But after that first exchange, man, you could see the shaking in his legs, dude. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
See, and that's the part I didn't want to see personally. Was if it reached that point and you're kind of seeing, all right, this is the old Tyson. But it sounds like from a at least an entertainment and a financial part for Netflix is a
oh
success.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Netflix is,
people pull the Game Pass who subscribe for Call of Duty. A lot of people subscribe just to play watch the fight.
yeah.
You can't beat that.
But to Vontae's point, Vontae says those undercard fights were really good, though. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Serrano versus what's her name? Kate. I can't
Hmm.
remember. Kate something, but that fight was awesome. The only bad thing about it was she caught a cut. She
Ah,
got headbutted. So
yeah.
that, but that even added more to it because that Serrano dude, she's tough, and then she went the distance.
Hmm.
In fact, I felt she should have won the fight.
Yeah.
Nothing against the other girl because I like the other girl too, but yeah, Serrano was tough, dude. And she was throwing bombs. But it was a great match. It was a great fight. The first fight was good too. I was watching. I was like, okay, this is a good like.
Hmm.
It gives me hope that Netflix is going to start taking this seriously, because again, when you watch the Jake Paul and the build up and all this
Hmm.
kind of stuff, yeah, it's all for flash and stuff like that. Maybe it's just to get the ratings. But like we talked about, bro, like they're gonna have NFL. They're supposed to get WWE next year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, guys, come on, dude, put this stuff out there, man. Do what you guys got to do, but just take it seriously, right? I mean, if you got to dude, they have Roy Jones Jr. Um, doing the MC in the fight as well as
Hmm.
Rosie Perez.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, she's Brooklyn girl, so she was on
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
and she old school, so Coco poses. I don't think it's just age. I don't think Tyson really cared. Bro, Gogo, I think are we just same age, bro? I mean, look, dude, I'll just put it to you this way, man. When I was 36, and I was out there trying to, and my knees were already bad, but I was out there
Mhm.
trying to play basketball with my little nephews, and one of them blew by me. I was like, oh, I'm done. And
Yeah.
I went and sat my butt down on the bench. I just started eating my hamburger steak, drinking my coke, and then my nephew's like, come on, Uncle. I'm like, oh no, go ahead. I don't want
Yeah.
to show you guys, you guys got it. Yeah, that reality, man. That reality is you got to deal with it quickly, man. Some of these guys
Yeah.
are on way too long, like you said on them. And I remember when Jordan came back that one time too many.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. In like 2002.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a good thing. Only one
Yeah.
that bucked the trend was George, big George
Oh,
Foreman.
George Foreman. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. A
he's a
Texas native. He lives out here in Houston too.
dude. That's all genetics, dude. That dude is a freak.
Yeah. Yeah. George
Another God
Foreman,
fearing,
man.
man. I believe he's a minister.
Yep. He is. He is. Yep. He's Mister. Yeah, man. He from
Thank God he
Marshall,
found
Texas,
God,
but he
brother.
live out here in Houston, man.
Well, I heard that. Yeah, he wanted to do. He country, right? So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he country.
He got a farm. He got a big ass farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good thing he found God, man, because he was
Hmm.
knocking people out. Not just in the ring. This dude was this
Yeah,
big.
man.
Like he talked about
Yo,
it.
he grew. Yeah, yo, he grew up rough.
Yeah, he grew up hard.
Yeah, he grew up real rough, man.
Which that's where your best fighters come from. So I'm just saying.
Hmm.
This
Yeah,
is why we got Jake Paul now. Just saying, no hate on Jake Paul. But you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? That's the fighters we grew up with, man. They
yeah.
fought for
And
real.
I don't think nobody in this country is stronger than them country boys, man. You get a country boy, them boys are tough.
Oh
And
yeah.
and yeah, and then you get someone like Foreman fighting, or it's game over.
Well, Gogo says Paul knows how to sell a fight for sure, but it was already old a few years ago.
Hmm.
Gogo, man, I'm just gonna let you know. Um, yeah, these dudes, these guys, man, the way they market themselves, the way they use social media, him and the brother are humongous.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's a
yeah.
lot of,
I think his brother wrestles, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think his brother wrestles in WWE. You know,
Oh, is that? Yeah, that's right. That is
yeah,
him, right?
yeah, yeah.
I
I
know.
don't watch. I don't watch wrestling like I used to, but E-Rock does, so he tends to know a little more than me. But
Look,
yeah,
and I'm not trying to hate on these guys, dude. They
mhm,
they doing their thing, and this is the new generation. Again, dude,
yeah,
passing on the guard. That's just the way it is.
yeah.
You
Well, to their credit, they were able to exploit where entertainment went in the
yeah.
modern era and made a killing off it. So um, I don't know much about them because I listen. I'm getting reaching that. I feel like I'm an old man now, where I'm gladly out of touch with that stuff. But I know that they're popular, and for I just don't know anything about them personally and specifically
I mean,
to
I
really
follow
tell
a
you.
lot of current events and stuff like that, so
Mm-hmm.
they're definitely a force. There's these influencers, man.
Yeah,
They're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. How long this is gonna last, I don't know. They definitely
yeah.
are. I think one of the brothers. I know one of the brothers. I don't know which one, but the when I caught one of them is when
Mm-hmm.
they did that video in Japan, which pissed everybody
Yeah.
off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. And in fact, that spawned a lot of these guys that started doing videos, and then
Mm-hmm.
they got this other kid, Johnny Somali,
Mm-hmm.
that was doing drama videos in Japan. Then he
Mm-hmm.
made the mistake of going to South Korea, and he you know how everybody thinks all Asians are the same.
Right.
They're not the same. So
Mm-hmm.
he went to South Korea, and people was like, and so it looks like he might get up to 28 years in Korean prison, bro.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah,
he messed with a country that don't play. So
yeah, and when he gets in there, dude, he's gonna
yeah.
I mean, look, dude, Asians are pretty chill, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they have their own, just like any other country, brother.
Yeah.
They have their own way of doing stuff, and
Yeah.
he just, that's why you gotta know where you're at. And he just
Yep.
picked the wrong place to go,
Yeah.
and he was doing some messed up stuff that really pissed him off. And once I saw him doing that stuff, and then so he broadcast his live stuff, so people was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and he was getting beat up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the police showed up, he was trying to press charges against him, and then the police was showing out his videos of what he was doing, and they
Mm-hmm.
just ignored it, right? So I'm like, yeah, bro, you're in a country full of, it's not America, dude.
Yeah.
America's different here. So, um, Coco says, thanks. I'll be listening. I'll be in the chat. Oh yeah, no problem, bro. Yeah, I'll
Oh
shoot.
yeah, yeah.
Tomorrow we'll
Oh,
be doing
he's a Chicago fan. That's what's up, Paul. But yeah, yeah. Hey, look, Google Poe. I've been there with the Houston teams at one point.
yeah.
The Rockets. They got a young core. They're actually playing really well right now. I might go to because I'm off work for the rest of the month, right? So I might go to a Rockets game while I'm on break. But yeah, man, the Chicago teams. They're the Whites. Are you a White Sox fan? Because the White Sox had the worst season ever, like literally the most losses in MLB history. So it ain't pretty out there with Chicago sports, and I know that's a rough fan base. Chicago's second favorite. That's the city that they don't play with their sports, man.
Oh no,
They like New York and Philly.
yeah,
They,
they're big market too. Big
yeah,
market, yeah.
yeah.
But I saw Frank. What's his name? The Big Hurt. Frank. I can't think of his name. But he used to play for the White Sox. And
Oh yeah.
Frank, dude, he even had his own baseball game on Nintendo.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Frank Thomas, thanks, Gogo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old. Dang, you old too, but no, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm getting there, man.
But Frank Thomas, dude, I saw him because I was stationed in uh, Northern California, so we used
Uh-huh.
to NWR used to give us tickets and we go watch the A's play. They try to give us tickets to the Raiders. I'd be like, dude, I ain't gonna get shot or stabbed today. My sister was like, why don't you go watch the Raiders? I was like, because I don't want to die. Then my friend, he was like, yeah, the Steelers are playing them. I was like, bro, when they come to play San Francisco, I'll go with you. I'm not going to the what they call the black hole.
Yeah, nah, man.
But the A's fans, are different. Baseball fans are just different.
Yeah.
But I saw Frank Thomas play, man. That dude is every bit as big as people say he is. When I saw him standing there, I was like, dude, no wonder they call him the bigger. And of course, he hit a home run. It's like, I can kill that ball, dude. I was like, dang. Well, Cubs aren't bad, but owners suck.
Yeah. I mean, bad ownership ruins a lot of teams too. But hey, at least y'all had a championship a few years ago.
Yeah. But then it's. Dude, look, Steelers had like a decade going through what they had to go through. Bill Cowher came in, turned it around. But I mean, it's like anytime your team has bad years, at least you still focus on the players. That's a great deal.
Yeah. And and that's that. Well, the Texans were bad until last year, but they're like an embarrassment bad where just everything about it was drama every week with the team, stupid, embarrassing trades. Like I'm so glad we got rid of the old guard because ever since we got a D'Amico Ryan, C.J. Stroud, GM Nick Caserio, he used to work for the Patriots actually. They've been respectable. But yeah, man, it happens with every team. Bad seasons happen. So and then sports fans, sports fans are somehow I do kind of love about sports fans. It's how loyal we are. A lot of sports fans, they put up with them bad years, some of them religiously, and then some teams who are really bad. Like I don't know how people are Browns fans in Cleveland because it feels like they're never good. You know what I'm saying?
It's the culture. It's like like here, everybody surfs except for me. Like I'm one.
Right.
Right, but I think when you grow up in that culture, the same thing with Pittsburgh. There's a mystique around it, and then which is ironic, right? Because steel mills aren't this. It's not the same of that '70s steel mill era,
Right.
but it's it's like the culture and it's stood the test of time. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I feel you though. I know what you're saying though.
Yeah. And as someone who's a big sports fan and enjoy it, played my fair share sports as well growing up, mainly football and baseball. Those are my sports. I was too big for basketball because I'm a big dude. You know what I'm saying? So, because like for example, I played D line and then eventually offense line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I used to play left tackle back in the day. That was the position I ended up being really good at. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was too big for basketball. I'm not gonna lie, but it's funny because basketball is actually my second favorite sport. It's just that my big ass was never gonna be out there hooping like that. And I got being in a black family, I got cousins, man, who did who do got that basketball build, and they used to kick my ass way too much. And I used to all right, how about you get the football then? Let's start hitting that way because people. I don't know about you, but we used to play street ball and we used to tackle each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stuff that unfortunately kids don't do this stuff no more, right? Where it was not uncommon for us to play basketball all day or play football all day, come home bruised, beat up, clothes torn off. My dad was always cool with it. My mom would be wondering why the hell we're so dirty sometimes. It was like, we were playing football, Mom. You know what I'm saying? That's so when I was getting my butt kicked in basketball, I'm like, let's grab the football then. They weren't going to hit my big ass.
Yeah.
Like, you might be able to hoop on me, but you wasn't going to hit me. That was for damn sure.
Dude, that's good times, man. I remember we used to play. It was for PE. We played football. We played in recess.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about it was I was super skinny.
Yeah.
So and then one summer I kind of shot up, and then I always played basketball. And I love basketball, but that became my de facto sport. But to your point, man, a lot of the kids now, dude, they don't do anything active like that. I mean, on that level that we used to.
Yeah.
Everybody was outside playing and doing that stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't uncommon to come home at when sun is down, and that's when you're finally walking in the house, because you were just outside over there playing around, and for us, like I said, it was a lot of basketball and football, mostly, and then in my neighborhood that I grew up with, we used to live in walking distance to this park, so
Mm,
we used to go out there a lot too, and play.
yeah. Well, we get kicked out of the house after we did our chores.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Same here, same here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I told you before, my dad, especially when he used to do welding at night, so my mom would kick us out so he could sleep, because she'll be damned if I woke him up. That was not going to happen. So
Those are the days.
yeah,
Gogo says Tyson lost a lot of focus after he went to prison. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Gogo,
yeah.
like I said, when that trainer died, Lou
Hmm.
was it Lou? I can't remember his name, but he was a big influence. You guys got to remember, man. Tyson from the streets, and what I mean,
Yeah,
he's from the street. He's like from the streets.
yeah.
And if it wasn't for his mentor, his life could have gone a different way. Well, he
Hmm.
might have ended up in prison, but he would have been a different type of, he would have
Yeah,
been a different person.
yeah. I think Tyson had one of them lives where someone found him, and that's what got him out of the hood, basically.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's why mentors are really important.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's like me, like I play basketball, but I remember when I went to like when I lived here, dude. I mean, we just played it, right? I mean, I love playing it. But when
Yeah.
I went to Florida, dude, that was at the next level.
Right.
The coach saw me playing, and he's like, "Oh, we have basketball tryouts, so they show up." And I'm like, "Oh, well, coach," and he goes, "No, no, be there." Like that's how they are. Like
Yeah.
you know, like there's probably so many kids here in the islands that could have been professional, but that's
Hmm.
not the culture here. People like to go surfing and do
Yep.
a lot of outdoor stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
we have quite a few surfers that went professional, but like my cousin, dude, that dude's huge, man, and
Hmm.
they would always want him to play football, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to play football." Well, what are you gonna do? Well, I just go cruise. So we have a savior. My dad was like, lose money, you big for nothing. That's what he said to my cousin. My cousin's chill, man. I love him, man.
Yeah.
He's just like this big dude, but he's just chill. And some people, when you see him, dude, they're like,
Mhm.
dang. But he's the most chill dude.
Yeah.
Vante says Logan does wrestle, yeah, and the best quality of Logan and Jake is they know how to sell stuff. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Vante,
Yeah. And
yeah.
that's an extremely important aspect. Um, if you want to make money, learn how to sell yourself. And,
Well, they're
and
at that cusp, right? They're at that
yeah.
cusp of technology meets marketing, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Right? The
Oh,
way they,
that's a great point.
yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, Unlimited. We just came in a little too late. Like I see
Yeah.
these people getting paid to play video games, like sports games,
Yeah.
and we did that
Yeah.
for. We paid for our
I
we paid
know.
for our stuff. We had to play quarters to play in leagues and stuff. So,
Yeah, man. Oh
it's a
man.
whole other,
Yeah.
good
It's,
for that
it's
generation.
Yeah, yeah, they got a lot of next level stuff that I didn't even think we would get here with some of the stuff that we're at now. That,
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's how crazy it is.
but I like to think that you know, we have a little bit of an edge
Hmm.
because we have a bit of the past as well as the youth.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And as good as some of the stuff they have it now, there are a lot of cons. I feel bad for kids who grown up in the social media era
Yeah.
who thinks posting your life online is real life, even though that's one of the most dangerous things you could do is constantly post every single aspect of your life. Right? That's extremely dangerous. It's one thing to get on here, tell a few childhood stories or something, but they're growing up in an era where they think what they're seeing on these, especially like Instagram and stuff, they think that's real, and unfortunately, it's hard to convince them um, that nah, man, a lot they just putting that out there just for the likes and views and the clicks, but since they grew up on it, that's kind of been their reality, and it kind of sucks to see, because for example last week when I was at church, and I was just listening to some of the some of the younger people talk,
Mhm.
right? And they really and truly they're talking about somebody on Instagram basically. And they really and truly thought all that fake stuff was real, and I'm like, nah, it ain't. But it was hard to convince them. It was almost impossible to tell them otherwise. I think some of them need to be exposed for them to see it, because that's what they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the society, right, dude?
Yeah.
Like when I look at people now, when I was growing up, like you were to be seen and not heard a lot of times.
Hmm.
But these people, man, it's about putting themselves out there,
Yeah.
wanting to see themselves again. The discussion of what's going on in gaming and movies,
Hmm.
right? A lot of people want to see themselves. When I was growing up, you got you went to this stuff to escape everything,
You're right. Right.
not to be in it, not to be
Right.
in it in that way, like because and look, we have to read books and stuff, right?
Hmm.
That's another thing. But when I went and read a book, I wanted to feel like I was in that world.
Right.
I was away from my world. When you
Hmm.
grew up the way I know, at least for me, right? I mean, I'm not saying it was bad, but and then that's just the way it was. So I didn't know anything different.
Right.
But like looking back now, I can definitely say like, oh yeah, we didn't have anything. We
Yeah.
were
Right.
poor. So when you had a book, like when I read some of the stuff that I read for the
Hmm.
very first time, I was kind of, and then when I got into comic books, bro, right? I was just like, you just live your life through Tony Stark and
Yeah.
Clark Kent or Kal-El, right? And that was the cool thing about Superman. Superman was multi. I was
Yeah.
like, Superman, he was Clark Kent, and he was an alien. So he had the complete package, and so
Hmm.
But nowadays, like you said, kids are just different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't get too hard on kids because they don't know better. I get hard on the world around them for putting them in that situation.
Yeah, they do participate in it though, and that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we should
but they need people, when they're that young, they need people to show them the other way, man.
yeah,
And I'm starting to learn that, and it's kind of like mellowed me out with that. That okay, let's try to show them another way so they don't get stuck in thinking that's how the world works, and then they keep getting up, and then it's been long enough to where a generation thought that's how the world worked, got into the real world, and are now bitter, angry, or feel hopeless
oh yeah,
because they were like, "Oh no, what they thought was real life is nothing. It's nothing." And they don't know how to adjust. That we knew how to.
there's strings of videos of women that regret, what they did,
Hmm.
and are now trying to find like maybe a husband or something.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a generational thing, man. A lot of these people will learn that later on in life, unfortunately, the hard
Yep.
way. When you put yourself out there like that, when
Yep.
you get older, it's always that way, right? When you're younger, you feel a certain way. Middle age, you feel a certain way, and definitely
Hmm.
when you get older. Um,
Oh,
Avante says,
100%, man. Oh, good.
Avante says, if there was a boxer that knew how to sell their fights as well as them, the sport of boxing would be in a much better spot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Avante, I see what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
that,
But boxing got more issues than that. But
yeah,
boxing's got a yeah.
yeah,
Boxing got a corruption issues. A lot of fighters who duck fights and all
yeah,
this stuff. It's not like the again. This people, and I know a lot of young people will get upset about us talking about the good old days, so to speak, like the 80s, but they weren't ducking each other back then.
yeah. They
When
hated
it,
each other.
yeah,
What did you say?
yeah,
Like what people call toxic now, that was our reality.
yeah, exactly.
When I see you, like when Hearns and Hagler, dude, that wasn't show.
Yeah.
I'm saying that was like they because you was questioning the person, you was questioning a man's manhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's something back there. You didn't want to be punk.
Dude, did you remember the Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield fights?
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
fights were wars. They
yeah,
tried to kill each other in the ring, and they fought what, three times? I think they had a full trilogy.
yeah.
You
You
know,
can't fight more than
and that
that, dude. Somebody would have
yeah,
died.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, and nowadays, a lot of these boxers, they try to, what they call them, the tomato cans. Basically, they'll rack up wins on that, but it takes them forever to get the real fights that people, because it ain't hard to promote a fight when you got two elite boxers, but
Yeah,
they just don't do it.
yeah. It's like the business of it, right? The
Hmm.
politicking of it. That's
Yeah.
why that's why so many people watch this Tyson thing, dude. People are yearning for the days of old, and I know a lot of it is us old guys. Um, you know what I'm saying? But people want to
Hmm.
see that now. People want to see. That's why UFC is so successful,
Yes.
right? Like you have a guy like Max Holloway, because I've had people ask me about him. You know, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know the man personally, but he is from Hawaii, and he's
Right.
from a part of the island, Waianae, that people will just fight you just because. You know, it's like, okay, I'm bored. What do you
Yeah.
want? But some of your best fighters come out of that's why Vontae, some of your best fighters kind of come from that environment,
Mm-hmm.
that authenticity, the realism of it. Like these guys have been rocked, these guys have been beaten, these guys have been mobbed. And when that kind of stuff happens to you, like that's how I learned how to fight. Like I got beat up one time there. I went home, my
Mm-hmm.
dad saw me. My dad looked at me and goes, "What happened to you?" I was like, "Oh, I got beat up by so and so." And my dad beat my ass right there, bro. And then he grabbed me, flew me over the fence. I'm not
Yeah.
grabbed me, threw me over the fence, and I said, "Don't come back." So I went and found that kid, and then
Mm-hmm.
I beat him up because I was so mad that I got beaten up. And
Right.
that's how we learn how to fight. Like especially in the islands, that's just the way it
Yeah.
works, right? And I'm not saying, look, that's not good. I don't recommend that.
Right. Right. Right.
But that's what I mean, Vante. It was just so different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I grew up, so you just knew people. Like when I went to school, there's people you mess with and people that you don't mess with because something
Mm-hmm.
went down on the playground or at the back lot after school, where somebody you knew this kid could scrap and
Yeah.
you wouldn't mess with him. So when you see Max Holloway point people in the middle of the ring,
Mm-hmm.
that's how he grew up. You know what I'm saying? That was his life. That was his life. You know what I'm saying? But I hear people say, like, oh, how can he does that? What kind of training is that? Yeah, that's not training, dude.
Yeah.
That's just how he grew up. That's the best I can explain. But Vante, man, I agree that I would love to see boxing. I've been enjoying boxing in the
Mm-hmm.
limited ways I've been able to view it, and I think like I love Canelo Anthony. I like Joshua Anthony, the British
Mm-hmm.
boxing dude,
Yeah. Yeah.
the Mexican dude. Of course,
Oh, Ruiz.
Ruiz. I love Ruiz.
Yeah.
What's the other dude, man? The Gypsy King. I love that guy.
Um.
Um,
Oh,
he's,
Usyk.
yeah, is that who he is?
Yeah.
Him and then who's that other guy?
And Tyson Fury, I
Yeah,
think is the other
Tyson
guy you're
Fury.
thinking of.
Yeah, because if people be like, I remember like some people was talking about bad about Tyson Fury, said he's this and he's that. Then I watched him, I was like, oh man, he's like old school.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
He's a big motherfucker, man. I'm not gonna lie. He is
that
huge.
that that arm length dude is evil. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
box
yeah.
fight
He
that dude.
is.
Man. He's like, you when you come close to him, you can touch him.
Yeah. I,
And he got
I, I
that killer jab.
yeah. I see why he's such a dangerous fighter, man. He is. My goodness, he's gigantic.
Yeah, him and that oh, what is his name? Who did you just say? Dude,
Oh, Usyk.
yeah. So yeah, dude, man. Anyway, I just love like when these guys go to war, man. It reminds me
Hmm.
of like the Larry Holmes, back
Yeah,
kind of era.
yeah,
And it's nice to see. So yeah, Vontae. So that combination of the fighting, and then I agree with you. If we could find a way to make them a little bit more,
yeah.
uh, yeah, dude. It's just, I mean, come on,
I,
dude. After
I'm surprised they're not better at promoting themselves because look, if you one of the best fighters in the world, I would think you'd be one of the biggest shit talkers on the planet. Because who could mess with you? Only like the six people in your division. That's it. So I'm surprised they're not better at talking at hyping themselves up. Because
I think
it'll be
it's I
yeah
think it's generational, number one, and I think it's because there's so many distractions now. For kids,
yeah oh
look, let's be honest, a lot of kids aren't fighting
yeah
growing up like
that's
how we did. So
yeah maybe that's it, man. Because if you're one of the best fighters in the world, you should have the ultimate sweat. You should make you should be coming off the way. What's that dude? He was really popular a few years ago. Who fought Mayweather in that gimmick fight? The Irish guy,
oh, I had is that Hammer?
Conor McGregor. Conor
Oh,
McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, Conor.
yeah. You should have a personality like that because he knows how to sell himself too.
Yeah,
You know, uh,
yeah.
I think he's retired now, if I'm not mistaken, from UFC, or he's injured. It's one of them two.
I mean,
But
he'll
at his
probably
peak,
come back for a big
yeah,
pay. He
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
come. Yeah,
He's reached that status where regular payday just don't cut it anymore.
yeah.
That by the way, he hyped himself up.
He knew how to sell himself. It's interesting because when you look at the history of UFC, you had guys like you could have like GSP, who I
Hmm.
thought was awesome because he came in at the right time.
Yeah,
We were transitioning from Chuck Liddell and all these dudes.
you're right.
They had their moment as well. But GSP was probably the best guy they could have. Just like Gina Carano for the women. You
Yeah,
know, she had the attractiveness, and she could scrap. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you know, you have those moments in this industry where you need that, and UFC, that's how they're growing, man. Like BJ had his moment,
Mm-hmm.
but Conor McGregor, man, he's next level.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think anybody else has been able to do that. They got great fighters, but they're not. They can't sell themselves on that level. They
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah. And it's some of them are super popular. Like I know John Bones Jones is really popular and really good, but they didn't click that charisma to the extent that Greg McGregor has.
That's too bad because I think some of that was self imposed
Hmm.
by him. You know, I think he could have been way bigger. He should have been the face of the UFC for years to come.
Yeah.
Him and wasn't him and Cormier had some of the best
Hmm.
battles, dude.
Yeah, yeah. John Jones and Daniel Cormier, man.
And
Yeah,
Cormier, I loved him, man, because
yeah.
he had the look and the body and the
Right.
charisma of a potato, right?
Yeah, dude. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah,
He's always been a favorite.
but he
And he
but he whoop your ass. Though.
yeah, yeah.
He-
Dude was like 5'11", fighting in a weight class that you didn't think he would, and then kick everybody ass except for John Jones, who he just couldn't beat.
oh, but that was classic, dude. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. If you have to your point, Bonte, again, even if even if your fighter loses, dude, it's just it's the when it's that good, when the fights are that good,
Hmm.
when the industry is that good, when everything's clicking, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like even tonight for Netflix, I knew, you know, at best I knew what it was, but I was really surprised, like you guys said about the undercard.
Yeah.
Undercards were great. It gives me a great hope for the future that Netflix continues, but
Hmm.
hopefully take it a little less of the pomp and circumstance next time, a little bit more of the, you
Yeah.
saw like Netflix has the ability to put that in like Vontae was
The
saying, Vontae, you know what I mean? They could be
yeah.
that catalyst that gets it to that next level.
The pop and circumstance, that's for the casual viewers.
Oh yeah,
That's one thing that I it don't bother me because I understand how casual viewers and everything thinks.
yeah.
They since they need that little extra flash to everything because that's how gaming is too. Some of the like there's some of these popular games are the popular because they struck lightning at the right time, right? And
Oh
Netflix, yeah, and Netflix kind of knows this, and so and not every fight's going to be like it was tonight, especially if they keep doing it, right? But yeah, but I guarantee there are going to be more fights that has a lot of that pomp and circumstance, as you put it.
I mean, they could take it on that level, man, because there's a lot of there's a lot of people undercard
Hmm.
um, that could really show out too, So, I don't know what Netflix plans to do.
Yeah.
All I know is they got Karate Kid the final season.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
looking forward to that. But you can tell too because like in the crowd when they showed it, they showed a lot of the
Hmm.
people. There's celebrities, of course, and not
Hmm.
all of them was this way, but a lot of the people were, they're promoting. They're there because they got to promote their shows,
Yeah.
right? So when you saw Ralph Macchio and oh boy, and Cobra Kai Johnny, I forgot
Hmm.
that. I can't think of his name right now, but they were in the crowd and they showed them because they got a new season. I'm not opposed to that.
No, no, no. Marketing is part of the course. They gotta push their shows, and the best way to do it is when you got one of your largest audience that's going to be watching.
Yeah,
So
true.
I got it's. I mean, it's what Xbox does all the time. People criticize their marketing, but they know when to put the right places and the right games in the right places.
Sorry, it's a double stream. I just want to clear that.
Oh no, you good?
Fonte says, yeah, the Pauls are good showmen for sure. I just wish Paul, or this is Gogo. At Vontae, yeah, the Pauls are a good showman for sure. I
Hmm.
just wish Paul would do a real fight. I'd actually respect him more. I think he could hold up to a pro fight. Doesn't have to be a title fight.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Gogo. But I think one of the issues too is because people don't respect him on that level. But now he did this, and if the purse is huge, if you can draw the purse,
hmm,
right? Um, then I think he should.
yeah,
But again, he has to be a little bit savvy about it because he's not technically a fighter. So one wrong step could end everything that he's because he is about
yeah.
himself, his brand, and the money.
Right, and that's the aspect that pisses a lot of people off. Is that he's he's not really a sanctioned fighter. He ain't in no weight class or real division.
Yeah.
And it just feels like this is for show, and they want to see a legit fighter knock him out, which
Yeah.
is a good selling point. That's a good way to sell tickets,
Yeah.
and to sell views and subscriptions.
Well, it's kind of his shtick now, right? Because he had like, what's his name? Nate. Why am I drawing a blank on his Nate Diaz? I
Yeah.
just grabbed Nate Diaz, and everybody. I remember, dude, all the because he's a UFC guy, man. I mean, he can
Hmm.
strike, he can fight. And when they fought, dude, it's just like, okay, number one, you can't take him to the ground, but number two, this shows that this kid can, he's been training.
Yeah.
Uh, so we'll see where how far this goes, man. Because he could prove us all wrong, or he could be a bust. But I'm willing to do a pay-per-view to watch it. He's got me hooked. So
Right.
Vontae says, I get that, Global, but at the same time, if the pockets keep getting filled with gimmicks, there's no reason to end it. It's business at the end of the day. Yeah, Vontae, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But I do, Global, I do feel, man, I would like to see him as well.
Hmm.
Or Netflix can do what they should be doing and just bring back Friday Night Fights on Netflix, dude. I think their subscription would grow immensely if they did that. Because people subscribe to Netflix like myself. I don't need everything. Like I don't watch every single thing on Netflix, but they got enough of what I like to watch.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
That's impossible.
So this is again Game Pass. I talk about it all the time with Game Pass, guys.
Hmm.
This is the Game Pass model. Right? And
Yeah.
then of course, people are like, well, that's ridiculous, stupid, and that's why I say all the time. Netflix does it all the time. Why the Game Pass is no different? Well, you know that that video games and movies, I was like, okay, whatever, dude. Whatever helps you sleep at night as you cry into your pillow because you guys ain't got no games because we talk about ponies at this point, right? I'm like, dude, whatever, everything you guys say, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's all in the numbers, and that's why that's what you guys don't want to acknowledge because you can't. I mean, you guys want to acknowledge console sales, but you guys won't acknowledge anything else around. That's about it. Not to get on a hate train with that, and this is not a Xbox podcast. And we're doing one tomorrow, all in pop, unlimited. Then I saw your video. Yeah, what I've been. You guys know what I've been doing on this channel.
Hmm.
I got pushback from you guys. Look, if you don't like the content I'm gonna do, that's fine. You don't have to watch it, but I am gonna do my other stuff as well.
All
So
right.
tomorrow,
Oh yeah. You did the political podcast the other day as well.
yeah, and I know not everybody does it, and just to let you guys know, a lot of it's not just about who won or who lost and stuff like that. I'm really interested in how these next 4 years, dude. This next 4 years is gonna be lit. This is probably one of the biggest things that you're gonna see politically. And I'm talking 60 years from now, our great grandkids will be like, "Oh, this was that moment in time."
Right. Yeah. Like the way people talk about the '60s.
Yeah, you're living in a time like that now. Now it could be a bust, or it could be big, or it could be an absolute disaster. But I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's certainly different.
Yes. So it's not just about. Trust me, guys. When I'm doing this stuff, it's not. A lot of it is just based on my thought. And then like Unlimited, you could be up there. Unlimited could be on the podcast, and Unlimited said, "Well, no, that's not what it is." And Unlimited has a different background, a different perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not financially savvy. I keep up. I know what I know, and I keep up with certain things. Right? But then, if you have somebody with that experience, like that's why we always go to Other Zinc, right? Because he knows certain things. He lived it. He's lived it. He lives it now, right? So, of course, you have somebody come in that can speak and just give you a little bit more fuller picture. But what I want to see is I want to see all the stuff that's going to happen. For case in point, if you get rid of income tax, how? Right? How are
Yeah.
ramifications. Like I live in a state like Hawaii. Like if I got more of my paycheck, I'm pretty sure the state here would be like, I wonder what else we can tax you on.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So there's no. It's in that stuff that I find very interesting. It's not just about right, left, up, down, all that stuff, dude. It is the actual process. So, but I understand. So tomorrow.
But with politics, it's just naturally going to be contentious. That's an avoidable part of it. So you're just gonna have. So if you do political stuff, you're just gonna have to take your punches because that's 100%. You're not going to please everybody type situation.
Oh yeah, I've had some of the guys in the and the regular Xbox podcast came in, they were voicing their opinion, which wasn't in line with mine. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're always welcome here.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem, dude. I have ponies come in here. I don't care if you're a pony and you come in here. You can tell because to me, it's like you can tell me whatever you want. I just want to hear. I want to hear your reasoning. Now, if you kind of sit there and you say, "Well, just Xbox sucks," I'm like, okay, well, if that's all you got, I mean, I don't know. I can't take you seriously.
Yeah,
but if you kind of see
the bad faith guys, yeah.
Or like even tonight's fight, right? If you're kind of like how Vontae's like, yeah, that makes. I have no problem with that.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Bobo has his opinion on. Yeah, I have no problem with that, dude.
Yes, it's called a conversation. Just bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah, that's what I like about. That's what I've grown to like about in your chat unlimited.
Yeah.
When E-Rock had his show going, when he bought his Stashy Duties, right? It's in the chat that I would find a lot of information and get to know the guys that would, like Gogo and like Vontae that come in all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I learned stuff too. That's what I've always liked.
I've learned so much from these chats, man. They be smart. They be on it, man. I just like, yo, yeah, man, you guys are correct. And I like when they correct me or bring up a fact and I could just put it up on screen. Yo, man, you guys are spot on. I couldn't believe I missed that.
Yeah. Oh, Vontae says the only person who is close to being good at marketing themselves is Tank Davis because got a little sugar in his tank. Allegedly. Yeah, I have to go look this dude up now.
Yeah, he's a super. I think he's a super lightweight fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, but Tank Davis. I haven't heard anything about having sugar in the tank, so I don't know about any of that stuff. But I've seen him fight. I think he's undefeated too. So he got that going for him.
Well, I know there's this kid out of Japan that I was watching. Well, he's not a kid anymore. Yeah, he's been tearing up the super lightweight, I think he is.
Oh, nice.
But this kid, man, he's got some power. I mean, he fought somebody that was on his level. And it was a good match, but I think he won. I think that's the first guy that kind of stepped to him.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude. So, the sky's the limit with this. And now, again, like you said about boxing, right? Unlimited. There's all the politicking of it.
Yeah.
Of course, the alleged cooking, quote unquote.
I don't even know if some of it's alleged anymore.
Yeah. Most people kind of understand.
Yeah. I don't think a sport has shot themselves in the foot the way boxing have.
Yeah.
Because that sport was that was one of America's pastimes. And now it's arguably even less popular than mixed martial arts.
Oh yeah, mixed martial arts taking over. The funny thing about there was rumors of stuff going on back in the day when my dad used to watch boxing, but nobody cared. It was like, I don't care if he's taking money, but they're actually killing themselves. So,
yeah.
That's why I don't like. I tend to think they didn't take money.
Where they ruined it is when they stopped giving the fans what they want. Because fans overall don't care if they're getting the big fights. Just when they stop getting the big fights regularly, that boxing shot itself in the foot. Because it's a phenomenal sport to watch.
No, just like wrestling, right? Like when wrestling finally kind of came out and kind of admitted, but not really, about wrestling. And then like all these news reporters are like, "See, we told you guys," and the wrestling fans was like, "Yeah, we don't care, dude. We never cared." You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm like, and they're like, "Oh, I was like, well, like you're gonna have some kind of breaking news."
Right.
Because there's multiple reasons why.
And it was always listen. If you ever been in a fight, you knew it was scripted, right? Because just try getting punched in a 20-minute fight and have no bruises, right? The way they do in wrestling, and tell me and come back the next day.
That's why some of my best things about wrestling is when the dudes didn't take the bump, and then they had to learn a lesson, right? Yeah. So I heard this story about Yokozuna.
Oh yeah.
So they said he had 2 sumo splashes. So one sumo splash was the one that so you don't get hurt. The other sumo splash was to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
And that dude was over 546 pounds.
Yeah.
In his heyday. So I love hearing stories about that. Look, at the end of the day, dude, I mean, one thing I always thought was impressive is because these guys are not light, they're not small. So still being able to pick them up, control them, make sure they don't get hurt.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, they might not end the match, being bloodied and bruised from the punches, so to speak, but
Yeah.
they still put their body through hell. There's a pretty good movie about the what's that family out here in Texas from the 80s?
So Von Erich.
Devon Erics. Thank you, Devon Erics. Yeah, there's a pretty good movie called Iron Claw about them, man.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, and
I gotta find that.
yeah, it goes pretty deep into it, and it shows, man, that they weren't punks. It might not. The wrestling has always kind of been. I think what always bother people who aren't wrestling fans is that they see simulated fighting, and they wonder why we watch what they think see as fake fighting and don't understand the other aspects of it. But it's like it's not like they're a lot of them. Hell, a lot of them are former athletes who got into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know how many football? The Undertaker used to play basketball, for example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, there are people. A lot of them used to be in other forms of martial arts and got into wrestling.
Ron Simmons is
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys used to be football players like Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
You
I think
know?
he played for Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The Rock tried to get on Miami, but he got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what kind of.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he kind of did in the beginning. He would rock the Hurricanes, the U University of Miami.
Oh, that's neat. I
Yeah,
had no
so
clue.
yeah, it's an amazing story, dude. He talked about like how he was just sleeping on. Yeah, he's kind of like homeless,
Oh wow.
but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he had his family and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
that's when he decided to come into wrestling, and then he came out under his grandfather's name. But it wasn't until he became The Rock,
Right.
because he started off as Peter Maivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like him as Peter Maivia.
Yeah, they looked at, but man, I guess it was one of those turns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where there was like, well, they don't like me, so he just turned on them,
Yeah.
and they loved him for it. That's why people don't understand the culture of wrestling
Yeah.
on that level, right? And that's why a lot of these dudes they sit there and disprove wrestling, and it's more than just the wrestling, dude. It's the showmanship.
Yeah,
So one of
exactly.
the smartest things I think Vince McMahon did was change it to World Wrestling Entertainment,
Right.
so that people could give them a little bit more breathing room on what they do.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
So who is Paul going to fight now? An 80-year-old? I don't think Gogo Paul was a fan of.
No.
Paul.
Well, I mean, look, I didn't even watch the damn fight, because like I said, I had no interest in 60-year-old Mike Tyson being out there.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of if Michael Jordan went out and played basketball right now and tore ligament trying to play with these 22-year-olds, man. It's like I don't need to see that. But yeah, Jake Paul, who can they get out of retirement? Maybe fights George Foreman next, because George Foreman's like 75 years old, so that'll be a step up for him.
I mean, they had Roy. Oh, did Roy Jones fight him? I think did Roy Jones fight? Roy Jones Jr. was there.
Wait, Roy Jones?
Huh?
The boxer Roy Jones?
Yeah, he was commentating on the fight today.
Oh, I thought you said he fought him before.
No, I was asking if he did fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If not, I think that would, or it would be great if he actually fought like Ruiz or somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to Gogo's point, I think that would silence a lot of the critics. But again,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's thinking about his marketing and his.
Mm-hmm. I think he don't want to. He don't want to risk being exposed, and that kills all the aura and hype about him. Because if he goes out there with a real fighter who isn't as legendary or well known as someone like Mike Tyson, I think he had a gimmick fight with Floyd Mayweather too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong about that.
I gotta go look this up because I kind of want to know now. Because I am interested in dude. I mean, for me personally, I agree with Gogo in that sense. Like, yeah, come on, man, step up. Let's go. Put yourself out there. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, but the moment he loses, he knows.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over, and then everybody's just gonna see him as the YouTuber and not a boxer.
I gotta tell you though, man, they sold this thing well.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. Man. Kudos to them.
Mm-hmm.
Only ones that's been hitting out of the park is Microsoft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're on point. Oh, we'll talk about that tomorrow, dude. Like I said, I watched your video, dude. We gotta talk about it.
Oh
Because, like
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I've been out of the loop in a sense, right? But I've been focusing more on the politics. And then I come back, and like you said this, right, one time before. I've been out of the loop, so I haven't really been looking at it, been
Mhm.
playing COD, right? Been paying attention to politics. Then I come back, and it's just like you said, bro. I the first thing I watch, Xbox is dead
Yeah,
because of the commercial or something, some commercial. Like, what is? I was like, dude, it never changes, dude. It's always the same thing.
yeah. I've never seen a brand die.
Yeah,
No, no,
that's
it was hilarious because an article came out the same day they were saying that about Phil Spencer said they're going to still make more Xbox consoles. I'm like,
yeah.
they died and resurrected on the same day.
It's just like didn't it felt like I didn't miss a beat. It's like when I left, like when I stopped
Mhm.
focusing on it, it was I forgot why we were dying
Yeah,
when I shifted my focus. Then I come back and I was like, well, let's see what's going on because I know I got to do a podcast. And then I watched the commercial. Dude. I was like, oh, that commercial's pretty cool,
it's a
man.
great. I thought it was a great ad. I
Yeah,
really did. I thought it was great. It made sense. It's something that if the casual person saw, they'll think, "Oh, that's really cool." You know what I'm saying? Which is what you want. You want people who aren't in the Xbox ecosystem the extent we are to see something like that and get it. And I think someone like that would get it. And these gamers, as always, and this and if I make it tomorrow, because your Saturday shows are just not good timing for me.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. For those who don't know, I go to church on Saturdays, so my Saturdays is
Oh, that's right.
yeah, it's church. Do some stuff out there, um, and then come home. And by the time I'm home, I'm in relaxed mode, and the show's 6 hours in. But I'm too tired to want to do anything.
Oh no, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Plus,
because for example, and just to give context, what your boy Unlimited be up to, we're working on. We're going to do our food drive next week after church. I mean, not
oh,
next week, tomorrow after church, because Thanksgiving is the week
right.
after, right? So
Yeah,
so we've been getting the food and contacting families who's going to need it, and that's the stuff we do. And just not to be too far off topic, but that's what annoys me about people who pretend church is the worst thing for the country. I'm like, no, if it wasn't for the church in many communities, people would be worse off because we do a lot of community outreach stuff. The ladies at the church, they do they I think every Tuesday they go to the local retirement home for the
yeah,
seniors.
yeah.
And so when people act like churches are like the worst thing for the community, I'm like, maybe the ones who make the news. And again, that's because they made the news for a reason. But 99% of churches are not in the news, and we do our community outreach stuff that helps the community. So don't sit here and tell me how horrible. We need to burn down the churches and religion is no good for anybody. Get out of here with that. Because I'm here. Especially now that I've reached a point in my life where I'm dedicating myself to it, Sega forever.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm seeing what they're doing, and they do
Yeah.
amazing stuff out here in the community. And I don't care if we don't reach a national level. We're helping the people in Houston who need food, seniors. The ladies are doing a great job helping the seniors who can't who can't function like they used to, right? And so don't sit here and tell me that's bad because we like to praise God as well with it, or our views don't align with mainstream, man. I didn't mean to rant, but
Oh, that's fine.
it's just that I hear a lot of nonsense about how horrible the church is for the society. I'm just like, no, not it's not even remotely close. The people that I interact with are wonderful people who care so much, right, and do such wonderful stuff. And unless you're out there with us, I don't want to hear it anymore.
It's interesting to me because I think because of everything going on in the world,
Hmm.
that people, it's almost like God revealing Himself.
Yeah,
People are responding. Dude. It's amazing to watch, and
yeah, it is.
I think the attitudes of people are changing. Scientifically, like I think I was talking today about this. There's a lot of stuff that we're discovering that's
Hmm.
actually um, proving the Bible to be correct on a lot of things,
Right.
um, which I find interesting. It's just like if you look back in time where people thought the world was flat or that
Hmm.
certain medical procedures you have to do it a certain way. Now, as time goes on, technology advances, or we get knowledge base grows and stuff like that. Or and in the case of us as Christians, God reveals Himself more.
Yes.
And then this is when you have that moment in time, which yeah, to your point, Unlimited. I mean, that's one of the cornerstones of the church. is to be in that society. That's where a lot of society relied on. I knew
Mm-hmm.
that for a fact when we were growing up. When I was growing up, you didn't have really food banks, but what you did have was a church pantry,
Yes. Yeah.
or you would go to church and you would get fed because,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the South, right? I mean, there's a reason
Yep.
why we ain't skinny. In
Yeah.
the South, you see some of your bishops, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're some good sized dudes.
Mhm.
At the church, they some good guys because
Listen, if you ever came to my church, my grandmother, she gonna make sure you eat. Because my
yeah,
grandma, look, man, my grandma, she one of them grandmas, where if she when she see you, she like, did you eat? Did you eat? Oh, stay and eat. Go ahead. She won't let you leave. She'll literally grab your hand, sit you down, and bring you your plate. Like,
yeah.
come on, that's my grandma to every new visitor we get. I like grandma, I love you, but
Oh, what was the name of that movie? I'm trying to think. I can't remember what it is, man. But that,
you,
damn, dude, it was a great movie. But it was about the grandmother who's the matriarch of the family, and so they'd have
and the grandmother passed, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that movie. What was that movie called?
Had Nia. Oh, what is her name, dude? But I like that movie because I love to see where the pastor used to come over every Sunday
Mm,
night because they'd have Sunday dinner
yeah.
and the family would get together. But in this movie, I guess the family was having problems and when the
Hmm.
grandmother passed away, and it reminded me because when my grandmother passed away as well, dude, like we
Hmm.
lost a lot. When our grandmothers passed away, a lot of that history, all of that stuff went away.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Which
and
punish society.
yeah, and I've been spending a lot more time with my grandma recently. 'Cause she's up there. She's 80. I think she's gonna be 84 next month or something like that.
That's
And
fun.
sometimes I just like to ask her questions about her days growing up, or when she, and stuff back in the past, and she'll tell me her stories, and I'm starting to realize how valuable it is to get that side of her
Well,
while she's here.
that's why I tell my kids I kind of feel for them, because they don't have stories to tell, really.
Yeah.
Like, man, when I look at them, I'm like, dude, you guys really don't have stories. The generations raised up because of all the stuff going on in the world. I'm like,
Hmm.
you guys never really experienced anything. I mean, good and
Right.
bad. And I don't wish ill on anybody. You know what I'm saying? But some of the stuff I went through is like it's like memories now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Global Poll says you guys keep it real. I still listen to the political stuff. It's interesting. Yeah, thanks, Global man.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
A lot of us, I think, we're just really basic common sense people. Like
Hmm.
look, I'll let people know my politics from the jump,
Right.
right, or where I stand. But every time I tell somebody this, right, because I have to nowadays, it's like if we're
Mm.
Christian, Christian comes first.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a time you didn't have to say that, but now you do. And
Yeah.
so that's why I make it known, Google, on my stuff. When I talk about that, because that's my perspective on things. Uh,
Hmm.
Vontae says, "Man, I'm glad they didn't go as deep as they could have because the full story is even sadder."
Yeah. I think it's time about the Iron Claw movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is unfortunate, and that's one of many stories in wrestling, unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. And even to this day, some of these guys, they had rough lives
Hmm.
their career. After a while, they their bodies break down, and
Hmm.
you know, some of them didn't have money, like some of the older athletes
Yeah.
from back in the day. So yeah, I still gotta watch it, Monty.
Yeah.
I was kind of dealing with watching it because I was a huge fan of the Von Erichs and
Yeah.
the way that they, what happened to their family, dude.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. It was a little before my time, so I enjoyed watching it. But it's one of the things that like my dad would tell me about. Um, but my dad, he well again being in Houston, he knows more about the Houston wrestling that
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
take place here. So he knows more about guys like Junkyard Dog, who is really popular down here in this part of Texas, more so than the Von Erichs. But even he knew about some of the stuff that happened
Well,
during that time.
Texas and Oklahoma, you guys had that. There was that circuit of wrestling there. In the
Yeah,
South, there was that Southern circuit.
yeah,
Out
that
here in Hawaii,
that Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana triangle was
yeah,
pretty popular around here.
yeah. Even in Hawaii, we had this guy's Butch Iakia. Dude,
Yeah, yeah.
Butch Iakia. So then his son actually was on WCW. Prince
Hmm.
Iakia, he was.
Yeah, I remember Prince IK. He's a good cruiserweight.
Yeah, but his dad was a beast. And
Yeah.
so, who do we have? We had the Lord Humperdinck. Like we had some really kind of out there kind of wrestlers locally that kind of was known. And then, of course, we had Don the Rock Morocco, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
Yep.
The Rock, who we claim here.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, Crush. He had a
Mhm.
sad story, right? He died.
Oh, that's right. Dang.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, that's the cool thing about it, right? But they used to do those circuits back in the day when wrestling was more,
Yeah.
it was grittier, dude. If you listen to um, Rocky Johnson, man, the Rock's dad, talked about that, like how rough it was, man, how that
Mhm.
living, and then how Peter Maivia took him under his wing. And it was ironic, right? Because he didn't want his daughter to marry a wrestler. But as
Right.
soon as she saw him, as it was, I remember she told the story. As soon as that dude was a good-looking dude. Anyway.
Yeah.
And his Rock's mom said, "Man, but as soon as I saw him, she was like, it was love at first sight."
Right.
And of course that's his daughter, so he's gonna
Mhm.
give it. So, and good thing because then we got the Rock.
Yeah.
The Von Ryan story. I didn't. Coco posted the Von Ryan story. I didn't see that movie. The wrestling movie that won Oscar is a great movie. The one with Spider Man's mom.
The one
Oh,
Spider-Man.
the wrestler. Yeah, the wrestler.
It's the one that's literally called The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sad movie too, dude.
Mhm.
That was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. A lot of it. Oh yeah, all right. Gogo says the wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Great movie on wrestling. Same guy who did Noah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is it. Uh, Gogo Pole. I remember Saturday summers. Friends would come over and we'd watch some cartoons, play some games, and sometimes watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gogo.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was slightly different because I always went.
Yeah, me
Even
too.
growing up, I went to church on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So that was an aspect to my Saturdays was watch a cartoon, go to church, then we come home and do what we got to do. Or my parents would drop us off at my grandparents' house. And they just let us run around or something.
Yeah, for me it was Sundays. Sundays was like my friends knew like I
Mhm.
want to see anybody on Sundays.
Yeah.
We went to church all day, all night. And so because I remember my church we did the morning and we did the morning services and we did
Mhm.
service.
You said the morning service and what else?
We had morning services and then we had the evening service.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, and the morning services, of course, was Sunday school.
Mhm.
Yeah, Bible studies.
Yep.
But yeah, good times, man. I remember Vogel, man. But again, I had to do chores and I get kicked out of the house most of the time. And then
Mhm.
when I was growing up, man, but I don't know about you, man, but we only had 3 channels here.
Yeah.
So and then of course, like you watch sports, whatever your parents would want to watch. But
Yeah.
yeah, but if
Well, by
yeah,
time I came around, cable TV was a thing. So we had more channels, but still, we watched whatever. Usually, my mom, whatever she watched, I just if I wasn't doing something, I had to sit there and watch the shit she was watching. My goodness, them shows. I mean, I guess they're good for women, but I couldn't stomach that stuff.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, but we can start wrapping it up. Unlimited.
Yeah.
We've been going for like an hour and a half.
Oh
Which is,
yeah.
and that's what I'm gonna start doing. Just like these smaller videos where people can jump in and out, and just do it for like 45 minutes
Right.
to an hour and a half.
Yeah. I've been trying to do that, but for some reason my shows be ended up 2 hours because I end up having the whole crew coming at some point.
Oh, that's fine too. Like I can do
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I know like sometimes like that's why I do the chats. So I
Mhm.
take the chat. I feel bad when I don't answer the chats. So I like doing the chats.
Yeah. Same here. I like when I just do my thing alone and interact with the chat for a little while.
Yeah, well, yeah. I basically cockroached that from you. So
Yeah.
when I saw you did it,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, that's really cool. Because I feel guilty, when we don't.
Yeah, same here. Because the chats will be on fire, and when I can't get to all of them, all of you, and I'll add you because you've been in the chat pretty often too.
Yeah.
And I like to bounce off you guys because man, y'all be spot on a lot of it, and we just end up having good conversation for an hour and a half or so, and I was like, you know what, this was fun.
I
Yeah,
think.
and go. Oh
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna read Gogo Post's comment here.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, I remember the regional wrestling. Chicago had regional matches too. They advertised wrestlers from other cities. Yeah. That's how they did it before my time. I kind of wish I experienced wrestling like that. Because when I was watching, it was WCW and WWF basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was here when they had the Southern.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the conference?
Southern Championship Wrestling, was that it?
Yeah, something like that. And then of course you had the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so before WWE, I remember because my family we used to watch it here. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I went to the mainland, they still had like they're more focused on the local wrestling
Yeah.
and in Florida. And then WWE when Hulk Hogan hit, that's when everything changed. I remember that
Right. Right.
because Andre was known and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have the we didn't have the there wasn't the market on that level. And but when Hogan came in, dude, and then once WWE and then they had the Rock and Wrestling, that's when it
Mm-hmm.
blew up for
Yeah.
me. And then of course watching NWA, but that was still tied to the Southern belt
Yeah.
wrestling. And so but NWA was awesome. Dude. I used to
Yeah.
love watching, especially
And yeah, and WCW was derivative of the Southern Wrestling because I remember. So I remember as a kid, a lot of the Southern wrestling fans saw WCW as the real wrestling, basically, as they would call it, the real wrestling, and WWF was the fake shit until WWF kind of blew up again like Stone Cold and The Rock, all of them, and then even down here, they got more popular than WCW. Because WCW was super popular down here in the South, really popular.
oh yeah, yeah. Like I was in Florida when they were NWA first, and then
Yeah.
when NWA hit, the group NWA hit. That's when then right after that they changed. Well, about a year later they changed the name. I don't know if it was the
Hmm.
rights, but but WCW that to me that's when WCW they went a little bit more like WWF
Hmm.
in a way, right? But and then once you saw the people crossing over more regularly, you
Yeah.
know, it was like how free agency took over sports. Like I
Right.
remember the time that free agency wasn't that big in
Hmm.
sports, but when that became a thing, you know, so yeah, once that happened, they both started blowing up, and of course the
Yeah.
'90s was just out of control, man. Which I
Hmm.
don't mean that in a bad way.
Nah,
Gosh, I
it
remember
was
trying
fun.
to. The hardest thing we had was like how we complain about Game Pass. You have
Hmm.
too many games, but we have too much wrestling.
Yeah.
We was like going back and forth, dude, because we was like, oh dang, dude, WCW, they would kind of be in the same time slot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It came on at the same time.
yeah.
Well, no. Or maybe
WCW was 1
WCW
hour
started an
early.
hour early. Yeah,
Yeah,
WCW started an hour early because
yeah.
WWF would end at like 10 p.m.
But then they kept on like growing, right? So WCW, man, I remember they used to be like what 3 4 hours, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it was
used to
like
be.
one of my normal podcasts. That's how.
Yeah, 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 man. It, it used to like the 3 hour. First, they used to do 3 hours periodically because I remember there was one WCW that was 3 hours
Was it
where
on Monday Night Raw?
Lex Luger beat Hulk Hogan for the championship, right? And then
Yeah,
eventually every week was 3 hours. But it was so popular, I was cool with it. I like shoot,
yeah.
sign me up.
No, I remember Monday night, dude, because Monday nights were nuts.
Yeah,
And then you had a Monday night, then there was a Wednesday night. Like it was getting to the point where like the NBA on TNT.
yeah.
Like, if you love basketball, man, I was loving
Hmm.
that, dude. You watch. There was a game almost every night, dude. It was so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Oh, those are good times, man.
yeah.
And they were good basketball too, man.
Oh man, I used to love NBA on NBC.
NBA and NBC.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What's that dude's name, man? That short dude. Uh, I got Doug Collins in my head, but he's on TNT. Yeah, I can't think of his name, man. He's still good.
Um. The guy that's part of the TNT crew right now.
No, he's a man. See, I'm drawing a blank. Dude.
Oh, from back then.
From NBC. Yeah, he was a. See, it wasn't my mind, brother. Look at Hebot. Good, you bums got to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
dude. Well, we're fixing to wrap up Hebot, but
he might act like he ain't driving on the streets right New Jersey right now, man.
but
You
we
go.
just technically we're talking about. I don't know if you watched the fight, bro.
Mhm. Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna just start doing sports on this channel.
yeah, yeah.
Because I'm enjoying it.
I thought of doing something similar with my channel, but I kind of gauged my audience and they just want gaming. So if I ever do something different, it'll just be very very rare for my channel personally.
Oh yeah.
Which is fine. I don't mind. I love gaming.
You
But I
know,
realized that my channel's kind of reached that point where the audience there, I know what they want. Because I tried to do something with comics before and it failed. It
I'm
felt
not gonna
hard.
lie, Unlimited, dude. It's kind of all about me right now. So I'll
Yeah,
just do
yeah. Oh, no, no,
whatever.
that's a great mentality to have. You
I
know,
can't talk to my kids, man. My
yeah.
daughter was nice enough to watch. Probably because she felt sorry for me
Oh, jeez.
because I mean we were watching Tyson. I was like, oh,
uh,
I was telling my daughter, oh, I call him Musabi. Musabi, you don't understand. You don't understand this dude was a beast. He was a
yeah.
monster, and all she sees is some old dude, try not to get knocked out. She's just like, you okay, Dad? All right, Dad. I was like, okay,
Look,
I'm doing a podcast.
that's exactly why I didn't want to watch the fight, man. 'Cause I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want that to go through. People didn't watch Tyson's head. Like this guy, really?
dude, my kids have no sympathy, man. They'll
Yeah.
wake me up and man, the time I got mad at them though when we
Uh
watched episodes 4, 5, and 6, and
huh.
we watched those, it's just, oh, they're okay, Dad. I'm like, what do you mean they're okay? What are you? But it's a reality check, right? Because they're a different generation, so
Right.
you need that sometimes. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
she
They.
was nice. She just sat there listening to me opine about, and
Right.
I remember the day. And after I said he was a beast, I said I remember the first time he lost. I remember the day he got knocked out because Daddy was working on the scrub crew at public
Mhm.
supermarkets. We were stripping the floors. It was 3 in the morning. Dude, the fight was in Japan, and I remember as like the manager gets on the overhead speaker
Mhm.
system. He's like, attention, all employees. Mike Tyson just got knocked out by Buster Douglas. And then
Damn.
there was like 25 of us on the crew, but we were all
Uh
over the store, right? Because we're
huh.
stripping and waxing the entire store. And so we're all over the store, and all you hear was just like, "Ah!" Like dude, it was so loud. Everybody ran to the front, and Mr. Barnes, because he hated Mike Tyson. He's like laughing. He goes, "Well, what do you think, there, boys? I guess he's not so. I guess he's not Iron Mike Tyson anymore." And we were like, "Man, shut up, Mr. Barnes." But we were shocked, bro. He's like, "No, it can't be real."
Yeah.
And of course, we didn't have internet, so you have to wait to the paper the next day. But
Hmm.
it broke. But it broke like he turned the radio on, dude. It's like Mike Tyson just got knocked out by Buster Douglas. And then
Yeah.
when we saw the infamous picture, bro, the next day in the paper when he's searching for his mouthpiece.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, and even my daughter,
That's the
she's like,
first one.
"Dad, you couldn't remember that you left the keys in the car the other day when you parked, but you can remember this story." And I looked at it and said, "It meant something, damn it. This is real life. It's changed the course of history."
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
remember. I'll never forget that, dude. I knew where I was. I knew what time it was, dude. Because it was a moment, dude. I mean, at that time, nobody. This dude was indestructible, man. There's nobody that
Yeah.
can touch him, and to lose that way, man.
Yeah. It was. I
Yeah,
know that
don't
was
watch the fight. Don't watch this.
no. I've watched it before. I watched.
No,
it.
this fight. Don't watch this fight.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No,
so
that-
go.
that-
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no. I was just saying. Thanks to YouTube, I've been able to watch the fights I wasn't able to from the
Oh yeah.
'80s and going back. Cause that's how I watch a lot of the Hearns fights. Sugar Ray, when he fought Sugar Ray, what is the name? Leonard and Hearns from the
Yeah.
'80s. That's how I watch those fights was
Yeah.
YouTube.
The Hitman.
Yeah.
Hagler Hearns.
Yep.
Sugar Ray. Who was that other dude? I can't. I see his face.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
Roberto Duran was another one. Man, my dad, I just missed that, dude. Everybody was so pumped.
Yeah.
Like when they're fighting, like, oh, God, yelling at the TV and stuff like that. Oh.
Yep. And also another thing that made sports better to watch back then was that the average person could afford the good seats, and so the reactions would be a lot more natural and excitable, too. Because now that unfortunately a lot of the best seats are priced out the average person, the reactions aren't as explosive as they used to be.
Plus, everybody's holding up their stupid phones.
Yeah.
Like even in concerts, dude, I'm just like, dude, put your phone down and like get into it. Like, what are you guys doing? I feel sorry for entertainers on that level, right? Like that, you want reaction from the crowd, but everybody has their phones out.
Yeah, dude.
But Gogo says, yeah, you can spend. Well, Gogo said here, ancient aliens.
I don't know what he means by ancient aliens.
What were we talking about? Yeah, Gogo, please remind us.
Yeah.
But he also says, yeah, you can spend whole days watching old sports on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Not all day, but you
Nah,
have.
nah, nah. But I go through my periods where I'm just glad that I could see old Ali fights.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, there are clips of Rocky Marciano from like the 40s. Like he was a
Joe
brilliant
Lewis.
boxer.
Yeah, Joe Lewis, dude.
Yeah, Joe Lewis.
Oh,
That's one of the aspects of YouTube that's why YouTube's the best platform to me because you can find that stuff pretty easily on there.
yeah, but they're getting on my nerves with these commercials, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They gone over the top with that.
That's why looking at them I was like, look, dude, you guys report yourselves to be a certain way, but you're greedy just like everybody else.
Hmm.
Just be who you are,
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah. Just
that's the only problem I have with them.
yeah,
But yeah. So again, sorry.
but
I always
yeah,
say that we gotta wrap it up. But
yeah. I know. I guess I forgot to bully you into ending it, but I was enjoying the discussion. So
yeah, that's why I want to do this. Like, honestly, I don't care how many people watch it. It's just
yeah.
that I just like to talk about it. Because I just feel like we're at a point right now. Like I feel like it's coming back around. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying with sports, like we talked about earlier. It was
Yeah.
nice to see these guys, um, appreciating and acknowledging,
Hmm.
what's real in life, even though they're athletes, man. And they
Yeah.
don't have to make big statements, dude. Just like I like see like your guys quarterback,
Yeah.
CJ.
CJ Stroud. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Every time I get a chance, I try and watch it, man, because I like his
Yeah.
testimony. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you can tell from the jump it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always a blessing to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what got him a lot of fans was last year when we beat the Colts again into the playoffs, and I think NBC or CBS edited out him praising God at the beginning of the press conference, and that really bugged a lot of people. 'Cause a lot of people watched it and like, guys, why are you cutting out that part of the interview? And it got them so much heat they had to re-upload it the whole interview because people resonated and related to that.
Well, but that's what they're learning now, right? All these media, they're
Yeah,
beginning to realize, right? That hey, there's like most people are just quiet about it, dude. At the end of the day,
yeah,
dude, you just want to enjoy your life. You work
hmm,
hard, right? You play hard, and then sometimes you just want to sit back and watch something and just
yeah,
and experience the goodness of it. And these
yeah.
guys, man, but they're learning, dude. They're learning because it's just like
Because they've had for example, I was reading how MSNBC ratings plummeted and like plummeted to this huge extent after the election. So
yeah,
so they co- so they're learning the consequences of like you can't do things the way you did a decade ago,
yeah.
and they know that now that they're seeing it firsthand that if they don't pivot, they're going to die. They're going to die, and everything's ready to take over. Hell, everything's already took over legacy media. To be honest with you, they
Yeah.
just they just got billionaires that could still fund them. But once
Well,
once that funding's gone, bye. You know what I'm saying?
like the billionaires are like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
So the paper wanted to naturally support a candidate, and Jeff Bezos told them no, don't support anybody.
yeah,
LA Times, the owner of the LA Times came out. No, we have to do things differently. And to our point, what we just talked about with Jake Paul, right? These are the people that are taking over.
yeah.
They have such a draw from a younger generation. The younger generation, they don't grow up like I remember my dad watching Walter Cronkite. I had to
Hmm.
watch it too because I ain't gonna change the channel. You watch
Right,
what your parents watch. So that's the only reason I know who Walter Cronkite is. Is some of the stuff I learned when I was younger because my parents were watching that.
right.
But that was kind of our generation. Then we grew up in the 24-hour news cycle.
Hmm.
But then not with these kids, man. My kids things are so instantaneous for them, and then they're finding their information from all these guys like their Jake Paul,
Hmm.
all these millions of other PewDiePie, right?
Yeah,
Whether that's good or bad, right? But you know what I'm saying. But they have these audiences, and so the media just can't compete.
yeah.
I mean, they have, it's almost like Xbox, if I'm being honest, right?
Hmm.
Xbox is like, yeah, like 100%. Phil Spencer's like, look, dude, we want to grow this thing. We can't just stick to
Hmm.
content.
Yeah, and I know and I said this on my show earlier. But and he's right. And look, even as console guys like we are, the truth of the matter is we're not a big enough market to support the growth that they're trying to reach. And if they didn't adjust, they would have been out of luck. You know what I'm saying? But since they pivoted so early, they're ahead of the game. And now the competition is the one who's going to play catch up and who's going to reap the issues that legacy media have of, oh man, we waited too long to do this, and now here comes Xbox, like Jake Paul took their place,
Yeah.
and a generation is just not going to care about them in the future.
And that's the only reason why I don't like all these guys are losing their minds. Not me. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for
Nah,
it.
I loved it. I'm glad that they finally did it so aggressively.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on the opposite end of how most feel because because it's like this, and then and Daya, and as Daya was trying to say, and I was trying to say, okay, if you Sega Forever could play Call of Duty on your phone, how does that affect me? It doesn't.
Right.
You know, and so once people realize that, the console people realize that, they're going to fall in line, and they're going to sound like we do right now when Xbox breaks more records and Sony starts doing the same. I mean, and I keep saying start, but they're already doing it too because I don't know if you saw my video. I did a little 5-minute video that just showed how this your Xbox works, right? And I did a little gameplay on my tablet, and it also showed that PlayStation has a remote play app. So they're doing the same thing. They're just not smart enough to invest in it to the extent Xbox is.
Yeah,
What they're doing is, they're letting Xbox do it. Xbox going to be successful, and Xbox going to be so far ahead that when Sony finally pivots full time, they're going to realize how the mistake they made. And I don't feel sorry for them at all when it happens.
Well, and I don't even think they could even. I mean, Microsoft just has so much infrastructure.
Yeah.
So much. I'll just be honest with you. The tech's already built in.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
On top of the money they have, and that's the biggest kicker. So for me, I don't mind this whole stuff because at the end of the day, I think they're just going to take over.
Oh, dude, listen. People in the chat were saying they're buying Ubisoft next. That's where we're at with Xbox.
Really, you think so?
I don't know. Well, Ubisoft had some financial issues, and Xbox, Xbox to Phil Spencer, it's a gift and a curse with him. He likes to be gaming savior. He's 100. I could see him talking to Ubisoft right now about something like that, and then all of a sudden, all Assassin's Creed on Game Pass going to save Ubisoft. I could see that happening 1,000,000%.
Well, on top of the games they have already,
yeah,
and they have a pedigree. I mean, I know there's controversy with their newest game, whatever. At the end of the day, they do have pedigree, and so that's what you want. And financially, like you see what Microsoft has done with a lot of their other studios, man. They're giving them not just, and some people say, well, they gave them a lifeline, not just a lifeline, dude. They gave them like a whole ecosystem to work within, to express yourself, to put your, I didn't get to watch the video yet of South of Midnight.
Oh, it's a good one. It's about 30 minutes long, but yeah,
that's like I said, that's the big game I'm looking forward to next. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm excited about Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But like the way you're big on Avowed, I can't wait for Avowed either. But I mean, my big game is sure South of Midnight because I grew up in the South, and I remember those old stories that old timers would tell.
Yep.
Around the big tree, right? And it was good, and because there's a Southern culture that I grew up in. That's when I saw the trailer for the game the first time. It lends itself very much so to that culture.
Yes.
Just like when people come to Hawaii, there's a local culture here. Like when I go to Texas, I'm pretty sure there's a Texas culture.
Yep.
And then, so this is what people don't understand. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And some of those stories I've heard. If I think it's the stories, the way the story is presented, I'm like, okay, I remember. These are like old backwoods bayou stories.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah. So and then I love their last We Happy Few, man. They totally caught me off guard, and I didn't really play it. My daughter played it, and I watched her play it. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude! The thought process, the imagination, the music,
it surprised me as well. I especially like Sally because I can't. It's a game because in Sally's part you actually play as a mother, and I never did that before in the game, and yet it was done so well. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely like when you see it, it's interesting, but when you play it,
yes,
it's just like how you talked about, I know you showed gameplay of Atlas Fallen.
Yeah.
And once I saw you play it, I'm like, dude, that's right on my alley. Right? It's like Kingdoms. It reminds me of Kingdoms of Amalur. So I just went and bought it. I just went and purchased it, and I'm like, okay, I'm spot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Then I got to like the third level. I gotta go back into it.
Yeah.
to finish it, dude. But the story's solid. The power set is good. The action is on point.
Yeah,
Not
I love the momentum.
Oh, yeah. So we lost Unlimited. We'll see if he pops back in, but if not, that's what. Oh, here we go. I was about to take that as a sign. I was like, oh.
No, I accidentally exited out.
Oh no. I just
Yeah.
The other day, I was trying to play that video, and I actually did hit the button. And I went to the beginning of the video. I had to apologize to everybody because I didn't know where I was. Before.
The funniest was when you didn't know you were alive. That's still hilarious.
Oh yeah, dude. The one where you and E-Rock was keeping it going.
No. You thought you were alive, and we were in the chat just interacting.
Oh,
you didn't even know. Then you're like, hold on, am I live?
Yeah, I thought I was recording a video, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. See, that's my Mike Tyson moment, man.
Yeah. That was great. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
I've just learned to accept it. I'm one of those guys that I have to pay somebody to do the production.
Oh yeah.
Like some dudes that watch is like, and they forget themselves, right? Because they try to keep professional, and then they lean out of the screen and they're like, "Hey, by the way, can you?" So you know that they're like that in real life. They're like, "Oh, that's why you pay somebody."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the big ones, they legit they be having editing teams and stuff, man. So.
Oh yeah, dude, they have full on staff.
Yeah.
But they make it back too.
Yeah, so they could pay him.
Yeah, so they could pay him, and I think that's good. And that's why they're calling all these people now the new media, which they are. So
and what I like about the new media is it's a lot more grassroots because as we've seen, when you get these corporations and these billionaires' hands in the pocket, that's why nobody trusts the legacy media anymore.
Oh yeah,
because we all know we're being lied to, basically.
Yeah, that's
and so with new media, when it's just when and then a lot of these people, they just started by turning on a camera, right? And that's how they were able to get the information out there. And it's a lot more authentic, and that's why the younger generations that gravitated more towards it than the because you turn on CNN right now, for example, right? Or Fox or MSNBC, the average person don't relate to them. You know what I'm saying? But they feel like a lot more relatable. And even though Jake Paul is rich right now, he started out in a way that felt relatable to his audience. And I think his audience, I wouldn't be surprised. His audience is most likely young men. So I'm gonna just say like the young men that follow him hardcore, right?
Yeah.
You know, and because of how he acts and how he is, that personality type is going to gravitate more than some stuffy rich dude on CNN wagging his finger at us for you know what I'm saying? Because their candidate lost, and I'm not saying that because I'm not making a political statement. I'm just because they lost, it's easy to use them as an example because that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
If you turn on right now, they're wagging their finger at their audience because Kamala Harris lost instead, and that just don't work for the average person, anymore. It might have worked 10, 20 years ago when they were the standard of how we consume media, but now now they're going the way of the dinosaur. And again, the only thing that's keeping them propped up is the fact that billionaires own them.
Well, it's funny, man, because I remember this because I was in Florida. And so I remember because Atlanta's just a one county line away, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when Ted Turner, man. I remember TNT, Ted Turner, he was huge.
Yeah.
And so I remember when he launched his new show. Was it he launched CNN, right? No, H&M. I forgot which one he launched, but I think it turned into CNN.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, so I remember when that was an amazing thing, dude. It was like a 24/7 news. Like if you like news, and you didn't just tune in all day. But then it became its own beast. Right?
Yeah.
But like to your point, a lot of these guys now, because it's just like your kids with their peer group. You know what I'm saying? My kids are of that age where they want to hang out with their friends more and talk to them about stuff as opposed to me. My kids still talk to me, but I know I already know. I've been there myself.
Yeah.
And so that's what they get with a lot of this stuff, and these people don't understand it. And yeah, so that's what they're doing, right? They're wagging their fingers. They're blaming everybody now.
Yeah.
Instead of themselves. I laugh because
and then they wonder why they have record low ratings. Well, maybe because nobody wants to be shit on even if they supported you, especially if they supported you, they don't want to be shit on. You know what I'm saying? And they're wagging their finger at them.
There's only one group. There's only one fan base that takes that, and that's
PlayStation fans.
PlayStation fans.
Yeah. No, they don't count. They
Yeah.
don't count. They're different.
Dude, even the Marvel Cinematic Universe fans are coming around.
Yeah.
Some of the reactions, dude, to Thunderbolts and what's the other one? Falcon. Which I will say, as trailers, they're good. Right?
Yeah.
Like Marvel, they know what they're doing. But man, some of these dudes that used to be diehard, they were like, they're being objective. Surprisingly,
Right.
They're like,
Right.
The trailer was funny, but the story. I mean, the way they cut the video, and I'm like, dude, just like 2 years ago, I was arguing with you. Right? And you were talking to me like, what are the like I told that story. Right? This one girl told me, I can't wait till you die, right? Because I'm old. Right?
Yeah.
And I started cracking up laughing. Right, that's how mad they were. And now you got these people, that are like, well, I mean, after watching this movie, and I was like, okay, so, but I'll take it. I'm like, dude, look, you guys, we all love Marvel. We might love it in different ways, but we want them to be good. We want them to come back and give us the stuff that they were doing, because what they've been doing, they haven't even been close. We got to be honest.
Right.
And people finally woke up. Like, some of these, like these entertainment places, I would watch their stuff. Then I kind of fell off from them because they would they would insult their people. And now they're talking that way too now. They're like, yeah, the sexism. That's how they would attack like a comic book guys. And I'm like, dude, we don't care about that. I hate to break it to you, but I read a lot of 70s comic books, and you guys couldn't even handle that stuff. And you guys are complaining about what we got now. And that's why I tell people, go back and read some of the old 70s stuff, and then come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, it's about the art, it's about the culture. But you can't have these conversations. Well, now, I mean, it's fun. It's funny. It's just like, I don't know. Somebody turned on the light and they're like, well, there's a culture attached to. I'm like, oh, so they finally screwed you over enough so that like that person in that abusive relationship.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is not healthy for me. Maybe I should leave. So anyway.
Right.
But yes, but if you're available, man, please jump in. Please stop in. But again, church first. Bro.
Yeah, I mean, y'all might be 10 hours in by the time I jump in.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I think hopefully Hebon will be in there. Did you watch Hebon and
100 had a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know he's fired up about it.
Yeah.
Even 100 wants to come in. But it'll be in the morning tomorrow. So.
If it's in the morning. Well, for the morning, for you, it's the afternoon. Yeah, no, that still might be that. Because like I'll tell you, man, after church, we got our stuff going on, and then yeah. But by then, I just come home and want to play video games because I don't always be in the mood to talk about this stuff too. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
So that's why especially with your Saturday stuff, I just be in the chat listening when I get home.
No, it's funny, bro. I'll say this much. Not I think 99.9% of people won't say this, but the politics was actually a good break from the video game console war stuff.
Yeah,
and that's saying something because the politics have been absolutely on a nuclear level.
Yeah.
But again, just coming back and just like, okay, what's going on with COD? I wanted to look at because I knew we're getting to season 1, and then when I open up the YouTube, the first thing when I put on Xbox, right, the first thing I see is like, bam. Right, Xbox is dead. I'm like, oh, great. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, hold on, what's going on?
Well, first I did a double take, like, oh, is this an old article from a couple weeks ago, or like 2 months ago? I look at it like, oh no, it's today. All right, now
for me, my reaction. Oh, it's that time of the year again. Okay, it's the Xbox is dead. It happens about 4 times a year. Xbox does something and everybody sold they got a lot of Xboxes they sold. I don't know how they keep selling their Xboxes every few months.
It's going to be funny. 25 is going to be lit because they're going to have a lot more, with all the games they got coming out, all the shows they're probably going to do, acquisitions.
Oh, man. Oh, I cannot wait till next year. Oh,
you think it's okay? So who are you putting? You think it's Ubisoft?
Yeah, because Ubisoft has some financial troubles. And I could 100% see because, like I said, Phil's got that game, save your gaming mentality. Yeah, I 1,000,000% could see them saying, we just got Ubisoft. Everybody lose their mind, and I'm over here doing this victory dance because Assassin's Creed is going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, some of the guys they'll have content for days.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If it was a choice, because the other rumor is WB, who would you pick? WB or Ubisoft?
WB if they get the DC, if they get the licenses with it.
Oh, okay.
Because they need, because if they get the licenses, greenlit everything DC immediately. Give me that Superman game. Give me the Green Lantern game. Give me the Justice League game. Bring back Batman, because they said they're going to bring back Batman anyway, right? Yeah, 100%. The Wonder Woman game is still in development. So give me the slate of DC. I want that more than everything. You know what I'm saying? If I could finally get my big budget DC games, I want that more than everything, bar none.
Dude,
right?
They have it. It's unlocked, dude. Just do Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
You just do Infinite Crisis, dude. That's your online.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you want online.
Sorry. Do something, man. Because and you know, look, I love the Suicide Squad game except for the DLC. The DLC was terrible. That whole Mrs. Freeze nonsense. I don't know what I don't know. That was a terrible decision. So get whoever thinks we want to play as Mrs. Freeze instead of the Suicide Squad from the comics. Give us people from the comics. All right, that's what we are. We're nerds who like that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give us that. You know, and
Suicide Squad went hard in the comic book.
Yeah. And then once you do that, us nerds are going to promote it so hard, the castle's going to fall in line.
Yeah.
You know, how do you miss the opportunity of a Peacemaker DLC in the Suicide Squad game? I don't understand. Oh man, because the base game is amazing. It's fun. I loved everything. I had no problem killing the Justice League because it's comics. It's DC specifically. Just reboot it. Hell, they reboot their comics every decade anyway at this point, right? So that don't mean nothing to me, right? So just say that they're clones or something. That's all you got to do.
You know, I'm not the biggest DC guy, but then some of the guys I was listening to, I was like, bro, just think of it as Elseworlds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you have to do. That solves your problem.
That solves everything. Fun gameplay, great story, and then the DLC, and it's like, oh, come on, guys, this Mrs. Freeze stuff. What are you doing here? You know.
Yeah, that's more of an industry thing.
Yeah.
Like everybody's doing it.
Yeah, no, and it was the wrong move. It was the wrong move because all the DC fans. We specifically talked about, oh man, the DLC is gonna be because the Peacemaker show was just a hit, so we were we were all, that was the big prediction. Oh, the Peacemaker DLC was gonna come, and then we're gonna get some of the more comic ones who probably weren't into movies or something like that. That was the expectation. So when they did the Mrs. Freeze stuff, that lost us because we had a dedicated fan base. We had a really dedicated fan base that loved the game, loved it, you know. And we're just having a blast playing it together, and then the Mrs. Freeze stuff happened. Like, okay, they're not going to give us what we want, and that kind of killed it. So green light the our DC stuff, but give us the stuff in the comics. You know, don't.
You could do like Lantern Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love, like I said, if they do Wonder Woman. I mean, this is just my personal thing. I would love to see a mythological one, George Perez.
Yes. Yeah,
like they go back to their Olympic. They could mine so much stuff off of that.
Yep.
Superman. I shared something on X the other day,
and
I love the old Superman cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I would love to play a game where Superman's back in like the 20s and 30s.
Oh yeah.
You know, and do it. You could do it episodic, like it's an action, right? That we're talking about in terms of if Microsoft owns them, right?
Right.
And it's probably going to go on Game Pass. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. The sky's the limit. If they get WB and it comes with the DC rights, green light that immediately. Other than that, go ahead and get Ubisoft, put Assassin's Creed on Game Pass, and reap the rewards. You know, because the Assassin's Creed, and I shared this with E-Rock. I don't know if I shared this with anybody else. They made $4 billion, so that's their bread and butter for a reason. So get Ubisoft, put Assassin's Creed on Game Pass, bring in the money because the Assassin's Creed series, that's one of those few gaming series that's no matter what they do, it's usually all right. Even with the controversy with Assassin's Creed Shadows, that game's going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just because Assassin's Creed is ubiquitous in gaming, in the gaming lineage of that big franchise right now. And so I'd support that 1,000,000%. Um, and honestly, let's be real, Sega Forever. Whoever they pick up is going to be the right move, right? If it's Sega, oh, then you just got Sega. If it's Ubisoft, you just got Ubisoft. If it's EA, you just got. You know what I'm saying? There's no wrong answer.
Well, we're still gonna have to weather the part where you know, because they bought Sega, they're gonna die because they can't
Oh
afford.
yeah.
When they did that with AKB, and I was just like, come on, man, dude, they just paid, 80 billion, whatever, 80
Right.
billion, right, $79 billion for this thing, and these guys are like, oh yeah, they don't have any money.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
and how can we forget? Now that the Republicans are in power, they're more pro business,
Oh
so
yeah,
there's going to be less of a headache with these acquisitions. And on my show, Hebot said that Satya Nadella apparently met with Trump after he got elected. So I guess it sounds like
yeah,
Microsoft is doing business ties
yeah. That's
already.
what I was telling Dea because we did that political podcast. When
Hmm.
I was on X, the first person I saw to congratulate, one of the first, there's three people I saw to
Hmm.
congratulate him, and one of the three, the first that congratulated him was Satya.
Yeah.
And then I said on the I believe it's Dea. I was telling Dea, yeah, because when Trump won the first time, Satya he was one of the people that went to the White House.
Oh, okay. So it was the first time he was elected. He went and visited him, met him.
Yeah, he visited him the first time.
Okay. Yeah,
But
he not.
yeah, because everything they went through with the FTC.
Mhm.
Look, Microsoft's not stupid.
No.
And you can donate and vote for whoever you want to, but at the end of the day, Microsoft understands that everything they went through with the FTC. I think a lot of gamers got an understanding of government overreach from that.
Yeah.
But I know Microsoft's licking their chops because the FTC is just trying to they're trying to look at their open AI, right,
Hmm.
and their I forgot the name of their there's a couple things Microsoft has that they're trying to dig into, which for me is just nothing but total. They're just butthurt because of what happened
Yeah. Oh
with
yeah.
ATB, right? And so, yeah, if Lena, FTC, not just Lena Khan might be gone, but I just think they might be gone in general.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is what happens whenever we get a new, next political party gets in power. There's usually a sweep. There's usually a big sweep. A lot of people who are there now are going to be replaced,
Yeah,
and we're going to get a business friendly Federal Trade Commission.
yeah,
And those
especially with the way
Democrats.
people are feeling, right?
Mhm.
People would like to keep more of their paycheck, and people want to be able to
Yeah.
buy food. To
Yeah.
buy food and pay their electric bill is the two
Yeah.
main. All the other stuff aside, right? That's why I talk so much about the economy on this channel. All this other stuff aside, I'm not saying it's not happening. People are not concerned, but at the end of the day, when you have to choose between electric bill, water bill, and rent and food, right? That means something to a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like you, I think the industry as a whole will grow. I think it's one of the reasons why Game Pass stalled out. I mean, it's growing.
Hmm.
In fact, Xbox Series said that 8.9 million more subscribers just based on COD alone
Yep.
for Game Pass. And I'm pretty sure it's going to keep on growing. So, with the economy that's better, right? It doesn't become, am I going to pay for this or pay for that? It becomes,
Hmm.
oh, what do I want to use my money on?
Yeah. Yep. And that's how it is, man.
Yeah,
Gogo Poe actually addressed me here. He said,
yeah,
Suicide Squad was pretty good. I need to finish it. Play Ages of Mayhem if you like that kind of Suicide Squad, kind of similar, but you get to switch heroes and mix. Oh, I beat Ages of Mayhem years ago. Love that game. Yeah, I already beat it for about in like 2020. Gogo Poe. When the pandemic first hit, that was one of the first games I beat at that time, actually.
yeah. You liked it, right?
Oh, dude, I had a great time with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, the game is like it's really a Saturday, R-rated Saturday morning cartoon. You
mhm.
know, with all all the characters got different person. I like pretty much like all the characters except for one that was kind of annoying. But yeah, a lot of great characters, fun gameplay. It's not it's not going to win game of the year, but I had a great time with it. I beat it. I unlocked all the characters and all this stuff. It's a fun third person shooter.
Yeah, that's the funny part, right? That a lot of people forget about. Gaming should be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why That's why I rag on Sony games. Like Death Stranding hit Xbox, right? $20.
Hmm.
I couldn't get into it because the game is telling is the antithesis of what I want. It's not fun. It takes forever to get to anything interesting, and I'm not going to play it hours for hours a game for hours sake of forever just
Yeah.
for the hope that it gets good eventually. And I look and I was telling Daya this. I play games pretty, I'll get pretty good into a game before I realize I don't like it because I think the worst part of the game is the beginning because you don't got any good powers, no good weapons, and so on. Or if you RPG fan like me, you don't got your level so low, you don't got anything interesting. So I'll play a little bit, and then when it doesn't ever pick up, that's when I think, okay, the game's not for me. But Death Stranding is just it's just none of it. It's walking and long cutscenes, and I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm out.
It looks like a little bit too weird for me, and that's saying
Yeah,
a lot because I play Japanese games. So
yeah. But the Japanese games, they'll at least have fun gameplay in between it and stuff like that.
yeah,
That look, I beat Visions of Mana earlier this year, about a month ago. Had a great time with it.
oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Who's Google talking about? Like the roller skating derby chick?
Oh, yeah, it's Daisy. That's Daisy. Yeah, she was one of my mains in it because you could choose 3 characters at a time that you rotate to. Yeah, Daisy,
Oh,
she was one of my mains, man. I love Daisy. Yeah, and yeah.
he said I put more hours in Redfall than all the Spider-Man Sony games come. Yes.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here.
Again, man, I think it's unfortunate, but I think if they would have added that online feature,
Hmm.
um, that would have a lot more people would play.
Yeah.
Coco Post says, "I love Death Stranding. It's a weirdo game." Oh yeah, that's why
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I mean,
Yeah.
not that maybe if I had time, but I mean, guys, I'm so enthralled into COD.
Hmm.
This is one of the best COD games they've ever made.
Yes. Yeah.
Easy.
That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, and I don't say that lightly, dude. I love my COD like how I love Marvel. So you know what
Right.
that means. This stuff is trash.
Yeah.
Fire Kevin Feige. I thought you liked Marvel. I do. I love them. Weirdo in a good way. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I saw that baby like that, I was like, okay, that's a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
You,
a
you
little.
got to rock the baby and all this goofy stuff.
Yeah. And again, I play Yakuza, so that's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it. So you're like Prestige 20 or something? Nah, dude, I just Prestige to am I 2 or 3? Dude, man, I don't got the trigger skills that like I do anymore. Like my trigger skill is so bad, I just used to blame it on people cheating. My trigger skill is so bad, I'm like, oh no, I'm old.
Yeah.
But the great thing again about COD,
Hmm.
Black Ops 6, man, is that I love it because when you're playing it, dude, it's just the flow. But when you
Hmm.
die, it's like you know you're dying because you're playing somebody that's it's a skill level, man. It's just
Yeah.
they're kitted up, you know what I mean? It's that noticeable, right? I think for a lot of the Modern Warfare stuff, it was just becoming, that's why people say it's like hash and rehash. I still
Hmm.
like playing it, but after playing COD, like Black Ops 6, and then they have like the dive feature, which is nuts. Like some guy had a shotgun, man. I had my thing pointed at his head, dude. I clicked that button, and he did some freaky slide, like not like a slide, like dive slide. He like went
Hmm.
sideways somehow, and I was like, "What the?" And then the next thing you know, I died. I was like, "What the frick?" Boom, And so, but the story, man, the gameplay, the way that they're bringing out the modes, they
Hmm.
really, from all the other games, you can tell that they've learned unlimited of
Yeah.
how to release stuff.
Yeah.
They had something called what do they call that? Stakeout. When somebody they do a stakeout, but it's called Stakeout 24/7. And what you are, man, you're in this apartment building that's in a
Hmm.
like in a little, um, like it's a square, right? But then there's the middle part where it's like a Taken. It's like that villain in Taken. You know where the daughter gets taken or gets
Hmm.
kidnapped.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Good
that's
movie.
basically what you're. So you're just running around killing each other, and just
Hmm.
just running around in a square circle, shooting and killing each other, dude. And it's the most funniest thing ever because what it does, right? It because people who play COD, like what
Hmm.
I did is like I get the shock stick and I get a grenade, and so I throw the shock stick and stun somebody, and throw a grenade and kill them, and so they get pissed off and they come hunting for you, And so sometimes I run around with a grenade and let them kill me, or they'll kill me, or I'll let them
Yeah.
kill me. And then they're like, oh, they're all happy to kill me. But when they run by me, they blow up because I have a grenade in my hand. Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I was playing this one time. This dude, I knew he was pissed. He was looking for me every time. He was looking for me, dude. This dude had like when you have a line of people that he could have killed.
Yeah.
He ran past them and to come and kill me. That's how bad
Oh
it was.
yeah. Oh, see, he was out for revenge. I
Yeah,
mean, I've been there before. I get it.
but that's what makes it so much fun. Because because if I kill him after, if he comes like that and I kill him, right, and then that's even sweeter, right? And if he kills me, I'm just like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Koga says, don't forget to use grenade launcher on an assault rifle. I can usually get. Yeah, dude. When I was playing COD originally, I was a noob tuber.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they hated that. They hate noob tube. When I first started playing COD, they hate noob tubers like they hate quick scopers. We're the two most hated. We're the two most hated groups on COD until like the shotgun became a thing.
Yeah.
then they were the most hated, and I was in two of those groups. I don't have the skills to quick scope, so yeah. See, Gogo Pose, yeah, yes, that shock stick rocks. Yeah, dude, I was like, I'll plan it too, and then as soon as you hear somebody, you can run over there, and throw your grenade on them. Because I use a sticky grenade, I throw it on them. Oh
yeah,
man, that takes them off.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's 2 a.m. here, so I'm
Yeah,
head out.
brother.
Yeah.
In fact, what we'll do is like, okay, shout yourself out real quick. Unlimited.
Yeah. It's your boy Unlimited Production. You can find me doing the Unlimited Truth whenever the truth is needed, and I do the Unlimited Hangout when I want to hang out with you guys. So I got 2 podcasts going. It was great as always to hang out with you, man. Because I most likely won't make it tomorrow, so I'll just be in the chat. So great show tonight.
Yeah, we got the cruise and stuff. Global, thanks for being here. Vontae, appreciate it, man. Daniel Berry Sports. I don't want to forget anybody. I think that was everyone. Well, Unlimited, you're in the chat.
Yeah.
So Hebot was here. Hebot, brother. I'll just shoot you the link so you can rant all to your heart's content.
Yeah.
Right, because when I saw the drama too, I was like, yeah, whatever, guys. So So thanks everybody for being here. Xbox All On channel. We out.
Peace.